Hey, what's up? I'm late. What's up, I was going to be on time. I know you've heard that before. But I'm having a little audio issues. I think my soundboard has just traveled too much, and you can hear hear, hear that. Yeah, it's bugging the crap out of me. So I got to get a new mic, but not today. So sorry. I guess I could do like doesn't Asmongold like play a little like streamer music? I mean, you have to do that like hey, hail Asmongold, he's doing fucking great. But when you have long silences, when you're not just yipping yapping and you're just talking about somebody else's content, let's see. I could just do a whole show of that. Might take away some of the noise that's probably not bothering you, but bothering me. What else do we got here? That's gay. When I get to work, I have a latte, and then I get a fruit bowl, and then I go meditate, and then I go get another fruit bowl. And because I work so hard, then we do some yoga. We do some goat yoga. And then me and my friends go do some karaoke, and then we come back and have a meeting. And I have another fruit bowl and another latte because what a day at work. And then we go out dancing with all our coworkers. That's pretty much my day. Freaking yoga at work. Good God. Hi, everybody. David, Todd Wright, Page One, Mike MC, Jim. Hi, Jim. I can't pronounce your last name. Piddly Widdly, the Great Snafu, Eternal Prospective, the Antichrist. That's a good name. What's up, Psychotic Mongoose? How's it going, brother? Freddie York, Authentic Raccoon, Jeff Strong, The Smart Review, Darth Yeager, Iridian Man, Gary Walker. Oh, Gary, you spell your name right. Well done. There's no two R's in. And Nick Weiser. Balls. Where are you, Nick? Did you leave already? Nick's here. Nick Weiser is here. He's hanging out. We had some brats last night. We watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. We roasted some marshmallows on the fire. Saw a shrew. I've never seen one in the wild. So his daughter was following around a little shrew in our backyard. Those are weird animals. It just looked like a little furry ball with a nose. Yeah, I shared a wiener with Nick Weiser. I did. Hail Nick Weiser. Hail Nick Weiser. It was fun. We're going to hang out a little more today, too, afterwards. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So I did a Father's Day where I just kind of sat around and did nothing. I watched a bunch of Babylon 5. I watched National Lampoon's Vacation. Then I watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I know Epic Mike and Drunk are going to be talking about it tonight. They invited me out. We'll see how things work out. I actually have a lot to say. I love the movie. But for anybody who says I love the movie, the Indiana Jones trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies ever made. It's a fucking banger. It's not better than Raiders of the Lost Ark. Stop. Just pump the brakes. It's great. It's not better than one of the greatest movies ever made. The technical marvel that is Raiders of the Lost Ark. The storytelling marvel that is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay. It's like a 1B to Raiders of the Lost Ark's 1A. Great movie, though. Great movie. Last Crusade is not better. It's just not. It's great though. I like Temple of Doom too. I love Temple of Doom. I like Temple of Doom more now than I did when I was a kid when I saw it. And I'm like, what? A raft out of a fucking plane? What? But I love Temple of Doom too. And unfortunately, we haven't had an Indiana Jones movie since. But oh well. You know, we got 3 great ones, guys. We got 3 great ones. We do. We do. Lots to talk about today. Of course, we're going to be squaring up BBC and FNT. But first, we have a sponsor. And it's 1775 coffee. A little sippage here first. You know that feeling when your coffee actually does what it's supposed to do, which is wake you up. Tasting good is kind of secondary. It's just like when you drink booze. Who cares about the taste of booze? Does it get you drunk? Does coffee wake you up in the morning? Now it helps if that boost is real. Now that's where you get into the fine lines of coffee, is like, what kind of boost are you getting? Are you getting a consistent boost or just one of those ones where you crash out later? It clears your head, lifts your energy, doesn't leave you crashing an hour later. That's what good coffee is supposed to feel like. Absolutely. And then if it tastes good, great. And that's what you get with 1775 coffee. Their coffee is organic, single origin, high altitude. I almost said high attitude, but you can have a high attitude with coffee too. And small batch roasted. This means no toxins, no acidity, no jitters, just smooth, clean coffee that fuels your day without weighing you down. From bold everyday roasts to brain-boosting mushroom blends and anti-aging formula, 1775 coffee has the functional and classic coffee options to match whatever mission you're on. Whole bean, ground, or pods. Your morning just got an upgrade. Head to 1775 Coffee and use code Nerdrotic at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. And you will feel free, energized, and ready for World War III. Because who wants to go into World War III without a good cup of coffee? I don't. Godfather 3. Yeah. No, I don't count Godfather 3. I don't. So what do we got going on today, peoples? Let's see. Yes, they screened Star Wars, the movie called Star Wars. And Kathleen Kennedy apparently went there to legitimize it. The movie she had nothing to fucking do with, ever. The franchise she had nothing to do with, ever. She got coffee for a lot of men. Hey, come in. People think I was lying. Fuck your head in there. What up, dude?
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm streaming.
Coffee is good
Coffee's good this morning.
Bacon's good.
Yeah. Have fun.
Oh, I will. Hello, everyone.
Nick Weiser.
Thank you. Oh, there's that Batman Forever line.
Yes. There it is. I got it at the Michigan Comic Con.
Yeah, we went to Grand
Rapids. Grand Rapids. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Sweet Christmas. All right, man.
Have fun. Nice shirt, by the way. Hail Nick Weiser. So Kathleen Kennedy, who had nothing to do with Star Wars in any way, shape, or form, she was able to get coffee on the sets of Indiana Jones and a lot of other movies, but not Star Wars. She was there to legitimize a screening. And I heard Ryan talking about this, and I definitely prefer the pre-specialized editions for a lot of reasons. A lot of the edits break up some of the great musical beats and some of the beats of the actual editing. Outside of, Han shot first, everybody knows that, but outside of that, the Wampa scene that most of you have seen is 1,000 times better in the original Empire Strikes Back cut, because it hits with the music, because they had to add a beat of music for that specialized edition. So people my age have committed to memory the soundtrack from John Williams. And when I heard that change, I'm like, why would you change that? That was perfection. So I'm fine with them putting Windows in Cloud City and getting rid of Yubnub or whatever the fuck it was. I'm fine with all that. I'm fine with all that. I know people are freaking out. That song at the end of Jedi was dumb. So I'm glad they replaced that. But yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, I think where I will agree, like if it's what George wants, it's his baby. It's what he wants. That's pretty much it. And whether I agree with it or not, it's what George wanted. Now, I can certainly be critical of what Disney wants because they don't know what the fuck they want. And they have fucked up the most profitable cinematic franchise in history beyond all recognition. And it will take a house cleaning like we've never seen before in entertainment to bring somebody in who will have the balls to just ignore everything Disney made. And yeah, sorry, that includes you, Andor. And start afresh. The only option they have, because this is a cinematic franchise, and it's not a cinematic franchise that's supposed to be run out and make $500 million worldwide. This is a $1 billion franchise, $1 billion franchise per movie. That's what they expect. There's only one way possible that Disney, as it stands now, with everything they have, could do that, could have potential to do that. I say potential. And I've said this since they bought it, and it's going to happen. Take it to the fucking bank. They will remake the original trilogy. And I think they'll feel pretty free to do it once it hits 50 years old. Because it's about to be 50 years old. So it's coming. Disney ain't going to fucking sell Star Wars. They're not going to do it. They're not going to clean house. A bunch of creative bankrupt fucks like Dave Filoni are going to remake the original trilogy. And I bet your ass Ahsoka will be in it. Bet your ass. And that's the only hope they have of possibly getting $1 billion at the box office, because like there's nothing they can roll up that's going to do that now. Nothing. Zero. But it's great that they screened it. It's out there. They should release it on 4K. Well, I've got a copy already. So. But I mean, that's the state of every single franchise now. Here, we can start out with Straczynski's tweet. Where did it go? There it is. There it is. So kind of funny. I was watching Babylon 5 yesterday. And then this tweet pops up. Okay. I suppose the question is, would somebody said at least consider trying to write Doctor Who if the opportunity comes up? I suppose the question is, would Doctor Who fans be willing to accept an American, even a hardcore Anglophile with a UK visa, for such an inherently British series, given Babylon 5 and Sense8? I wouldn't mention Sense8, brother. Or later issues of The Amazing Spider-Man. And the like. Would I be worthy? Disbrew says, of course, we would have no, I think you would have an issue with an American actor. They had an African writer, so why not? My response was simple. It was, if you have the balls to go up against your peers and choose the fans over your peers and basically erase everything after Capaldi. Like, it does not exist. Not little bits of it, none of it. Not a single nanosecond of it exists. Then you have a possibility of getting a much smaller percentage of your fan base back than you would have if RTD had done that, which he didn't. He doubled and tripled down, so he made it worse for you. So the reality of the situation is, and I also followed it up. Oh, and you actually need you need a TARDIS to go back in time because this show is cooked, as the kids like to say now, from Your Goose is Cooked, which is really fucking old. But yeah, it's pointless. Straczynski would probably write some pretty good Doctor Who in another world, where in another universe where none of this shit happened. But now you're just gonna have to reboot it, which fucking sucks, because it was the shared history of the story that kept all the other fans engaged. Brandon, I'm going to paraphrase what Brandon Sanderson made some comments about the canceling of Wheel of Time. And he said something pretty basic, but true. If you couldn't engage the fans who actually like the books, how did you expect to bring in people who've never read them? I mean, it's a really simple statement, but Hollywood should have taken that to heart. If you can't engage the fans of the Lord of the Rings with the Rings of Power, what in the fucking hell does it make you? Where do you think you're going to engage new fans? How do you think you're going to get those new fans in? You think the normies are just going to stumble into it? The reason you buy these franchises is for their built-in audiences, so they can shepherd in the new audience through good word of mouth. And what helped Game of Thrones? Every watch party, every new person to Game of Thrones had the book guy or girl there in their ear going, giving a little context and getting people into the books and more into the series and stuff. That's the best marketing on the planet. It can never be beat. You can't fake it with fucking bots or viral this or any other shit. Good word of mouth, period. What helps Sinners, whether you like the movie or not? You have to admit, a lot of good word of mouth fucking helped that movie succeed. What helped Mobland? Good word of mouth. So it's mind-boggling that these companies spend billions on hundreds of millions and billions sometimes on franchises, and immediately alienate the people you paid for. Because some dipshit fucking intern woman, in a lot of cases, who's probably got a background in HR, Gen Z fucktard, comes in and, with no life experience and said, well, she's obviously connected with the kids. She has a TikTok account. Well, okay. So here we are in the year of apathy, which we have predicted was coming for quite some time now. And you're going to see efforts to kind of bring back the old fans that they alienated. Hey, look, we got a comic book accurate costume now. And, we're going to be closer to the source. But what was all the shit I've been hearing about Wheel of Time, which I didn't watch, is, the third series was a lot closer to the books. Oh, was it now? What about the first two? Strange New Worlds. We'll watch that trailer in a second. It's ending on season 5 with a shortened season. Big surprise. All that money wasted. All that money wasted, and your return will be nil in the very immediate future, because they're going to keep cranking out bad superhero movies, bad Star Wars movies, if they crank out one at all. Well, we're getting one next year. The big follow-up to the Disney trilogy, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Escape from Witch Mountain. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What are they doing? Another Jurassic, I think that movie is going to probably rule July, and I could care less about it. Scarlett Johansson's hot, but she's leading the security team into the most dangerous island of dinosaurs on the planet. And the person leading the security team, like holding all the guns and doing all the is Scarlett Johansson. Really? Another fucking girl boss? She's still hot. And that one's probably going to rule July and do really well. But, 40-year-old Scarlett Johansson, action star. There you go. There you go. Oh, God. What? Oh, so yeah. Apparently, are they going to fix this? Here, let's look at this. So, this is affecting South Park. This is affecting everything. So Paramount is being bought out by Skydance. And what's been holding it up was Trump had a lawsuit against or is accused CBS News of airing a heavily tampered with interview to help the Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, which was true. Don't lob out this Hollywood Reporter, this accusation. That's what they did. And that is technically against the law, against the rules, against the FCC rules, we'll say. When it comes to elections, you have to give fair time, fair exposure. So that's been holding up the buyout. That's been holding up the buyout. Trump Paramount Global are in active settlement discussions over 60 Minutes lawsuit. Trump has accused CBS News of airing a heavily tampered with interview to help then Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024. Accused. President Trump and Paramount Global are in active, blah, blah, blah. They repeat the headline. Against the company over an interview with 60 Minutes. The revelation came in a motion filed Friday by Trump's attorneys asking for an extension in the deadlines in his lawsuit against Paramount Global, parent company of CBS. Jesus Christ, get this fucking dumb hippie who's going to go to Egypt and get March on Gaza on my fucking face. The revelation came in a motion filed Friday by Trump's attorneys asking for an extension in the deadlines in his lawsuit against Paramount Global. The motion states that both sides respectively submit that good cause to extend the deadline set forward, blah, 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 blah. Trump alleges in a lawsuit that CBS aired a heavily tampered interview. We already know it was. With Harris to help her in an election by editing certain answers in a way that misled viewers. That's what they did. Trump's team alleges that this constitutes a violation of the Texas Consumer Protection Law, covering deceptive advertising and the unfair competition prong of the Lanham Act, a trademark law. As previously reported, the two sides are currently in mediation talks to try to resolve the suit. Paramount reportedly previously offered $15 million to resolve the suit. So they know they did it, and they offered $15 million, which is sought to dismiss earlier. They sought to dismiss earlier this year. Meanwhile, the FCC is reviewing the interview via its news distortion purview. The filing comes 2 weeks after Paramount Global added 3 new board of directors as it deals not only with the lawsuit, but also with the proposed merger of Skydance Media and Paramount Global. Earlier this month, Paramount chair Sherry Redstone revealed she had been diagnosed with thyroid cancer. That came out of nowhere. What the fuck? We're talking about board members. And, oh, by the way, Sherry Redstone is selling has cancer. I'm sorry she has cancer. Fuck cancer. And that's where you ended the article. Wow. Gay guys. Jesus Christ, Amazon. It was selective. Yeah, it wasn't tampered. It was selective, deceptive, purposeful editing It was propaganda. Yeah, Taylor Sheridan's affected by the deal because Skydance is coming in and they just want to slash everything. And like Skydance is no fucking savior for Paramount, by the way. Yes, they have the Mission Impossible movies, but they also gave us JJ Star Trek. So don't think Skydance is some fucking savior. I think it's just more of the same. More of the same. So don't look for, I think Star Trek, I think the Kurtzman deal will, I mean, you would think they would slash that before they slash the Taylor Sheridan deal, but nobody's accused, nobody thinks anybody in Hollywood's smart. So yeah. But fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. What do we got here? Oh God, Heroes Calling. And then we have, oh God, too bad Shad's not here. We have AI. AI. My view on AI is you can't unmake the soup on this one. Animators, it's coming for you. Special effects supervisors and special effects, anybody in CGI, they're coming for you. Anybody who edits trailers, they're coming for you. Editors, it's eventually coming for you too. Those are going to be the first to fall. So a lot of it's gonna hurt the below the line people too. It's gonna cost a lot of jobs, and stuff's gonna get somewhat cheaper, but people remastering Blu-rays and that AI is coming for you. A lot of jobs are going to be lost. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying I necessarily love it, but sometimes you just need to accept the reality of the world. Why Disney's AI lawsuit will determine whether studios survive, a fight to shape the rules of the road for automated content. But it's even bigger than that. I want you to picture a dam. And then I want you to picture an ocean. What dam can hold an ocean? None. Those were two reactions, seemingly opposite, actually harmonious, to the news that Disney and Universal had finally bitten the bullet Wednesday and sued an AI company, the startup image generator Midjourney. It had, after all, been nearly 18 months since the New York Times dropped the first shoe suing OpenAI and its backers, Microsoft, in December 2023 over alleged unlawful training of its models on Times journalism. Okay, that suit should be thrown out, because the Times has not practiced journalism. So I'm side with the AI on that one. And any AI that fucking trains itself on the New York Times is going to be retarded. As the months dripped by and the Times lawsuit withstood key court challenges, this is just fair use, the AI firms cried. It made sense that Disney and its studio peers would follow their lead. And then became uncomfortable when they didn't. What was the other shoe waiting for? Some media companies were cutting deals to license content to AI models. A Dash Meredith here, a Vox Media there, but clearly Disney and the Hollywood crew wouldn't do that. The stakes were too high. Their legal options too varied. So it was with an air of inevitability that Disney and Universal filed, alleging a bottomless pit of plagiarism in the Shrek and Yoda-like creatures that Midjourney spits out because it has been trained on. Well, Shrek and Yoda-like images. Piracy is piracy, Disney chief legal officer said in an accompanying statement. And yet, for all the waiting, this is but the first shot, even an early symbol of what will almost certainly be a larger war, with other companies joining in after Midjourney and perhaps Disney and Universal going after companies like Midjourney, at least capitalized and weakest of the Gen AI bunch, which is probably why it was targeted. So it's targeted because it's the weakest. If 2023 was defined by authors suing AI firms and 2024 was marked by a bunch of media outfits doing the same, 2025 could shape up to be the year the studios confront the silicon. Ooh, your masters. Which brings us to 2026 and beyond, because the lawsuit isn't your standard intellectual property dispute. It goes to the heart of what studios are and what their owners ultimately want them to be. Let's play it out. There are several ways the lawsuit unfolds. The most obvious is the way most lawsuits, with a settlement. In this scenario, Midjourney, and no doubt other AI model operators, pay the studios for their infringement, strike a deal to keep on licensing. There's never going to yank the studio fare from the models. By the executive's own words, the models would collapse with big content. So AI models keep getting trained on, and spitting out facsimiles of Hollywood material. And that's where it gets iffy. And like, listen, intellectual property law is a murky thing that lawyers love, because they can make a lot of money off it, and it's super vague and nothing will ever be defined. I would just say this. Good luck stopping it, because it's also trained on other things. And even though the source, they're specifically stating Yoda and Shrek here, but let's talk about memes. People do memes all the time. Is that fair use? It's parody. That comes from the literal frames from movies that are used all the time. And now they make money. They make money on Twitter. They've always made money, but they make more money now. So where's the fair use start? Where does it end? Is it too late? Are they just going to have to pay the studios? See, here's the deal. The studios, I don't know if they mention it here. Maybe they mention it later. Each studio is developing their own internal AI. Each studio. They're already done. It's about control of AI. Disney will have its own AI. Fire everybody and have its own AI. They just don't want competition. Similarly, studios could simply lose. That nets them less money, but it ends in the same place. OpenAI, Google Gemini, and others crank out Hollywood-trained content at will. Then there's the other ways. Well, with a studio legal victory, AI models are deemed prohibited from training on its content. This fair use, in quotes, a judge says, ain't that. In such a scenario, we are ensured that for the indefinite future, what gets generated in the way of Hollywood images comes from Hollywood and Hollywood alone. What does this lead to? Well, it leads to studios continuing to do what they have always done, being the main incubators for and generators of so much film, television, and other entertainment we consume. And what does the first option lead to? Well, it hardly takes an imaginative leap to see that we end up, if anyone can go to an AI model and unplug the prompts to generate stuff that looks a lot like the movies and television we know, it means the end of studios doing it for us. And that's what's going to happen. Is there's already been enough training. I don't know how you control it. I don't know how you control it. It's as much an internet issue as an AI issue. It's like, how do you stop this stuff? I know it could be a bold statement, but it really isn't. Once content gets automated like that for the masses, there is no need for incentive for studios to do it themselves. Why would you maintain a whole infrastructure to generate original content? Okay. If the studios do the AI themselves, you can ask the same exact question. Why would a studio maintain a whole infrastructure to generate content? Well, they can hold the infrastructure of a building and people in there prompting, but you don't need a big studio. You don't need volume anymore. You don't need a lot of things. So if any of the workers out there think, oh, the studios are on our side right now, they're not. They're not. Entire deals and offices and hierarchies of development and production, when your audiences can get you so much of what you want by going directly to the model. If you thought TikTok creators were challenging studios now, imagine when they can just utter a few words and get the next Yoda. Sure, some boutique operations to do something new, even in such a circumstance, originality gonna originate, but it would be the exception. Plus, that stuff would eventually get devoured by the Mao too, since AI models could just grab into and train on it. You see how this game goes? Yes, you can't unmake the soup. And if this whole vision leads you to say, that doesn't exactly seem like it will produce the next generation of The Godfather or Star Wars, well, no, it won't. Capitalism sends its regrets. Oh, it's capitalism. It's capitalism. Yeah, I would love to have a freaking communist AI, a single AI controlled by the state. That'd be awesome, too. You know what you're up against? It's funny because there's been so much disruption in Hollywood before. So what if we go back through the history of Hollywood? There was the studio system. It was, some Jewish guys created Hollywood. Then they created the studio system, and they hired actors in-house, and it was like a conveyor belt, and they were able to get stuff done. And then the workers revolted and they got rid of the studio system, but then TV came along and that disrupted the film industry. But then it got cheaper. Film got cheaper. Cameras got cheaper because all this stuff was just way too expensive. Everybody was priced out. And then we got the revolution of film in the 70s. And so on and so forth. Film was boosted by aftermarket sales through VHS and DVD. I'm trying to go through this as fast as possible, but it's always been like something is added to it. It's been an era of disruption. The only natural place for this to go was you. This is a 20th century model that was never going to make it because people's tastes are changing now. There is going to be a time. People love scripted stuff. They always will, but it will be a novelty. It will be a novelty. That's the way it's going. And for an industry that lasted a long fucking time, right? But you know what? You're not live sports. It takes a long time to turn that stuff around, and you priced yourself out of the market. Workers got too expensive. Supposedly CG was supposed to, remember when CGI was supposed to make stuff cheaper? Remember that was supposed to make stuff cheaper, and it made stuff more expensive. Too many unions, too many rules, too many redundancies, and you priced yourself out of the market. Plus you decided to piss off half the country. You have major brand damage right now. Anytime a retard like Mark Ruffalo marches out there, you lose more customers. When you see Hulk, like the news of Savage Hulk is coming back to Spider-Man 4. Pretty much everybody across the board is like, fuck Mark Ruffalo. Fuck Mark Ruffalo. Can't stand him. Now, if you recast him, you might have a chance. But that's indicative of what's going on with your brand right now, right? So you have all that. You have TikTok. You have YouTube, just crushing everybody. Netflix, they're going to be on board with AI. Oh my God. They probably can't wait. And the two companies with the most money in your industry aren't primary companies in your industry. So you're Hollywood's a side hustle, and now you're competing against your own audience, who's going to start. You know what? They say you won't get the next Godfather in Star Wars. I disagree. I think we might get something really good because somebody will still need to be talented. I think a talented person embraces AI as a tool, and we could get another thing, or we get a lot of specialized stuff, and it just fractures. But it's definitely going to be decentralized. But don't blame capitalism, fucktard. Blame your fucking communist unions for putting on so many fucking restrictions and redundancies that you just priced yourself out of your own fucking country. That's why we got an article today, a couple days ago. Here, I'll go to that. You priced yourself out of your own fucking country, you dipshits. And that's because labor prices went up too much. And that's because of COVID and all the other shit and restrictions. But it's also with your stupid fucking strikes and your stupid deals with the strikes. And this idea that making art is like working at a steel mill. Shut the fuck up. Okay. You're making pretend. And the unions and the corporations were the ones who tried to box in the pretend, who have put regulations on your own work. This is what I talked about in my girl boss video. You put those rules on yourself. That's why you can't write women right now. That's why you have to have Black Vikings in the background of fucking How to Train Your Dragon. You can't have authenticity anymore. You can't. And you know what? Having Black Vikings in the background of How to Train Your Dragon is minuscule compared to other shit we've seen. Plus it's based on a fucking cartoon, but that's just an example. You see them and you're like, well, was that a natural casting? Nobody even thinks that. People go, oh, DEI. They needed to put that in to check a box, which doesn't help anybody. You know why you're a Hollywood Reporter? Do you know why your fucking piece of shit rag exists? Do you know why Hollywood exists in the first place? Free market. Fucktards. It'll lead to some cool stuff. Sure. Creativity isn't dead. The next Mr. Beast. Well, I could do without the next Mr. Beast. Man, he's got some tools and some filmmakers will have some fun. We're already seeing that with Harmony Korine and Darren Aronofsky could do with things like this, but studios, as we know them, nope. You're right. The risk-averse corporate studios filled with people from the board of Pepsi who don't know a fucking thing about making a movie and a TV show. You're right. Yeah. In this scenario, Hollywood studios morph into something else. IP rights managers. That's what they are now. They're still here to make money off the property they created or bought in most cases. Disney is still running theme parks, for instance, and the people are still employed on a lot of work with the AI companies that make sure everything runs smoothly and checks come in on time. But the idea of a studio, as we think of it, as it has to existed for a century, the idea of a dream factory in any meaningful sense of the term, it's gone. We've woken up. No, you woked out. Disney stops being what Walt Disney founded Disney to be. Oh, now you're invoking Walt Disney, famous anti-communist, a person you wouldn't agree with a single fucking thing on. You're invoking Walt Disney now. Get fucked. In fact, you wouldn't really need a lot. Come to think of it, I don't think Bob Iger wants to be the guy to do that to his company. Well, we know how brave Bob Iger is when he pussied out right before COVID because he had a lot of political connections and knew it was coming long before we did, and decided to just immediately retire and pass the buck to a fucking to a patsy that he got rid of and came back and said, I'll save Disney now. And he didn't. Bob Iger will do whatever is best for the weatherman. That's why I don't see him settling. He's leaving. By the time this gets settled, he'll be gone again. but the imperatives of the dollar are strong. And if his legal advisors are saying he might lose, plus some of the cynics out there might say studios have been heading in the IP management direction for a while now. Heading? You're supposed to cover entertainment, you dipshit. They're there. Go look at the tentpole movies we've gotten this year and last year. The vast majority are one of the following: an unnecessary prequel, an unnecessary sequel, or a remake of an animated film. It's creative bankruptcy 101. So we were talking about on Friday Night Tights. It's great. People like How to Train Your Dragon. I'll never fucking, and for the rest of my life, I will never watch a fucking live action remake of an animated film. I'm done. It was fine. It's fine. It didn't need to exist. It's not better. Astrid was terrible. She was fucking terrible. And not the look, her acting. She went to the Tessa Thompson School of Acting. Like, at least her mom can act, you know? She's crazy. Tandy Newton, little fucking whoop, got fired from a movie for going crazy. But yeah. You're already there. It's not cynics. It's called reality. It's called reality. Wish it were different. I do. It's a big movie this weekend. Remake of an animated film. What is the second biggest movie of the year? A remake of an animated film. Hey, the biggest movie of the year so far is something new. It was terrible, but it was an adaptation of the most popular game in the world. Marvel sequel flop. Marvel sequel flop. Snow White flop. Ballerina, a spin-off, an unnecessary spin-off from the world of that didn't do well. The movie was fine. But this year has been shit. Like absolute shit. For movies. I don't like, I imagine How to Train Your Dragon's going to do really well. I went again the next day with some relatives, and the kiddos loved it. Fucking loved it. That's the whole point. Where was incidentally, the studios are yeah, cynics, you fucking moron. I bet you this asshole went to school and got some good degree and goes, some may say that the studios are heading in the direction of being IP managers. Jesus Christ. Incidentally, the studios are in an especially interesting position because they want to use AI themselves. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you. Thank you. It's about time you know where you should have put that? In your first fucking paragraph. God, these guys are so on the fucking cock of the studios. Okay, so thanks to Robert Meyer Burnett, whom I love unconditionally. I got to have a chat during the strike with one of the WGA guys. He worked on the Orville. And he's a nice enough guy. Like, I disagree with him on fundamentally probably everything on this earth politically. Most things. But it was a good talk. It was like, hey, I want to kind of hear their side, right? I'm open to that. And even though I'm totally anti-union, I understand that they exist in this world. And if they exist, I at least hope they help their workers. That's my hope. Unions stem from Marxism. So I'm not a fan, just not a fucking fan at all. I've never been a part of one. As a matter of fact, I avoided any job that had one because I saw how they treated my sister, which was when she needed them, they weren't fucking there. They weren't there. And then we could have just seen during the coup, you know, when which really gave the Film Actors Guild the first reason to exist in their entire existence. They did nothing. They did nothing. So that's a union for you. It is a second boss that takes money out of your paycheck. Fuck that shit. So I digress. During that conversation with the WGA, we brought up AI, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, "Oh, it's not about getting rid of AI. It's about who controls it, and we want to control it." Right? Oh, that's an honest answer, and that's good. So it's never been about, they know they can't stop it. This is a battle over control. That's all. What they don't understand is follow me here. It's similar to streaming. There was a lot of promises with streaming. There was a lot of like, hey, it's a consistent revenue stream, which Hollywood does not have a lot of, right? Every single movie is a crapshoot. But if you have subscribers to your studio, basically, you have your own little crowdfunding thing going in, and like, oh shit, that's great. And on paper, it sounds awesome. The problem is every other studio is going to do it. Netflix was there first and innovated everything. Disney spent billions poaching people from Netflix, trying to create their own model. And what they found out is Netflix owns so many patents. That's why all your UI, your menu all look like shit and they change, because Netflix owns most of the patents. So I had a buddy of mine who used to be on this channel who was working for Netflix, and one of those people was poached to help create Disney Plus, which is eventually going to get swallowed into Hulu, whatever. But the thing is, when you take away DVDs, Blu-rays, we've all talked about this before, and then I'm going to be, sorry, stating the obvious here, but forgive me, that's what we do here on YouTube. When you put something on your streaming service, you know what you can do immediately? Pirate it. And pirate it really well. So, and there's nothing, and I mean zero, you can do to stop it. You could try your little filters to keep people from fucking, screen. Good luck. There will be a way around it every single time. So you can control the AI all you think. That's a dream. That's a dream, because eventually it's going to become self-aware and enslave us all. But until then, it should be a lot of fun for a lot of people. So incidentally, the studios are in an especially interesting position because they want to use AI themselves. I also want to, this development for, VOD and, everything on streaming, this goes way back. Like when I was in my brief time working in Hollywood at Technicolor, they were innovating it through set-top boxes, but that was the precursor. They were already talking about streaming back then, and that was 2010. So 15 years. They knew it was coming. They may not be tech companies eager to rip through content libraries so they can hawk products based on what they have scavenged. Yes, they are. What the fuck do you think Disney is? You just described Disney perfectly. Eager to rip through content libraries so they can hawk products based on the scavenged, or in Disney's case, the purchased. You just described Disney, the biggest sole entertainment studio in Hollywood. But they're not actors and writers either, trying to protect the human endeavor. Well, neither is the board of Disney. If they can make the next Avatar at a fraction of the cost, signs up for that AI model. Yes, Avatar, I think, is a great example of what an AI movie will look like. It'll be really pretty, and everybody will forget about it as soon as their hand hits the door handle, unless you have a Tesla and then you push it. I was going to say, as soon as you turn the keys of your car, but God, does anybody do that anymore? I do in my car. I still have I got to start my car with a key, not a little fucking button. No, I'm not one of those YouTubers who ran out and bought a fucking new car. I still have the same car. I've had the same car for 10 years. That's the way it's going to stay until it falls apart. Yeah, the only way these models will be good enough for the studios is to use them if they can train on the data and the studios that want them. Okay, let me read that again. I confused myself. So yeah, the only way these models will be good enough for the studios is to use is if they train on the data the studios don't want them to have. Catch 22, a pretty good studio movie, by the way. It is. So here we are, an LA district court holding the future of Hollywood in its hands. What would you do if you were the judge? Well, it's a judge in LA. They're going to side with the fucking studios. Like, what do you think? What would you do if you were an executive? Golden parachute, baby. Just like Bob's going to do. Bob Chapek is on an island. It's like the end of Trading Places. Bob Chapek, except he's by himself. He's on an island surrounded by a bunch of hookers. Going, Bob can blame everything on me. I don't give a fuck. He's been quiet. I know he tried to get another job, but like he's fine. Take the cash given all these headwinds and pivot your model, or stand pat and try to preserve the concept of the studio as it's always been constructed. That's a loser. That's a fucking loser. I mean, arguments can be made. That's what I would prefer, but it's a loser. Knowing full well you could end up with neither the old way or the new money. It's a juicy question and one drama, at least, that ChatGPT couldn't engineer. It could. I think it actually could. Interesting. Interesting. And you got this going on. Like, my kid loves, so, oh, fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck about AI. Okay, either way. I'm just being real. It's here. There's nothing we can do about it. But I have seen my youngest use it to help with inspiration, help with his creativity. It's assisted him with his art, which he still, does by hand. And if for that part, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If it helps with education, creativity, I'm for it. But am I happy? Like, dude, tens of thousands of people are going to lose their job, and not all of them are fucking woke idiots. No, I'm not happy about that. But like, here's where the tough love comes in. Here's where the tough love comes in. For the people who weren't the woke idiots who worked in the game industry, for people who weren't the woke idiots in the film industry or Silicon Valley or everything, who felt like, for good reason, they needed to be quiet during all this and couldn't call their coworkers out, or felt like they weren't, because they weren't able to speak. If they spoke up, they would have been fired in a lot of cases, or at least they felt like they would have been fired. He still should have spoke up, because now you're all going to get wiped out. And that sucks. But what ushered in this era was a bunch of fucking shit. What that article just described, it was trying to describe the AI as this, the AI companies as this heartless, soulless thing that's just gonna squeeze the blood out of all the content and all the art. That's exactly what every fucking studio has been doing to this very second. So they brought it on themselves. They went on strike. They pissed off the customers. They got shut down for COVID, but we're allowed to keep working. And they kept making shit because they were the resistance. Hollywood was the resistance. Resistant to making money. And now it's a fucking shell game. Warner Brothers is going to, hey, we're going to survive, everybody. Hey, shareholders out there, we're going to survive. We're going to split our company. And we're going to move our debt away. Oh, the debt's still there, but we're going to move it to another company. So it's not in this company. So we're not in debt anymore. That, like, who would invest in that? And why are you losing a bunch of money? Warner Brothers specifically? Because you're retarded. You're fucking retarded. You've had DC. You've had fucking Looney Tunes. You've had Lord of the Rings. You've had Harry Potter. You pissed off fucking Nolan so much, he fucked off to another studio. You're fucking stupid. Black Snape. You're retarded. None of you should have jobs. Good luck, Superman, by the way. Good luck. So here we are. Everything's going great in the UK, except not so much. And it's those of us who have been saying stuff. It's because we like this shit. I really, the frustration I had, I tried to guise it in humor, but it had been a minute since I've been genuinely like pissed off by most of the stupidest. Even female Silver Surfer was exasperating. It was just like, of course. When they announced Black Snape, I was genuinely pissed. Like fucking angry. I haven't been that angry since they changed since they introduced the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, because I was looking forward to the fucking Harry Potter show. I'm like, can we just have something nice? Can we have something cool? There's no reason to fuck with this. It's one of the most successful things ever. You don't need forced diversity because it's a worldwide bestseller, like everywhere. Same argument for Lord of the Rings. Worldwide bestseller. Nobody's had a problem before until you brought in some fucking activists. So Black Snape fucks up your whole fucking show. Fucks up your entire show. I don't care how good the fucking casting's been outside of, which has been pretty good, to be honest with you. Mostly pretty good. It's so fucking stupid. And this is one of the things. This is the main thing. I would argue, equal to DC for Warner Brothers. I won't say more, but it could be. Harry Potter could be more important to Warner Brothers than DC. Harry Potter is a stronger franchise. DC, you have more opportunity to grow the franchise due to the amount of characters and different stories you have in different genres if you chose to go that way. So DC has an enormous upside that has never, ever been realized by Warner Brothers. Ever. They've had some hits, but they always manage to fuck it up. But Harry Potter's a bigger franchise. It's worldwide. It's more popular. It makes more money. And they fucked it up, man. So here we go. From Variety. How the UK film and TV industry is juggling a boom in Hollywood productions like Avengers and Harry Potter and a bust for everything else. It's feast or famine right now. God, who's been saying that? And like, this was all avoidable. And we're like, and I'm just chronicling this at this point. Like, this was so predictable. And look at the franchises they mention. Here we go. If the United Kingdom has become such a hotspot for Hollywood film, by the way, Michael Straczynski's there on a visa. And remember all the people saying, I'm leaving America because Trump is president. No, they're leaving America because everything's being shot in the UK right now. They'll be back. And be sure to welcome them too. Because I promise you, Most Americans from Hollywood aren't going to appreciate the UK like some of us will. See, I like the countryside. I could. The only thing that's a bummer is like it's not sunny a lot there. Rains a lot. It's gloomy. I fucking hate that shit. But they'll hate it. They'll absolutely hate it. If you didn't have such a crazy fucking government, man, I'd think about living there. But why are so many entertainment industry workers? Okay, so because if the United Kingdom has been such a hot spot for Hollywood films and shows, why are so many of its entertainment industry workers out of a job? Well, I think I just explained a lot of that to you. One, on the other hand, the country's sound stages are filled with massive U.S. productions ranging from Marvel, Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, which is going to be a gimmicky cameo fest with a 60-plus-year-old Robert Downey Jr. returning as a villain who's going to kill a bunch of heroes that you like in a movie that's going to be, look at that cameo. Oh, Magneto. His head just exploded. Oh, look at Patrick Stewart. Oh, they broke a wheel on his wheelchair and he got hit by a train. Oh, look, it's Rebecca Romaine Salad as Mystique. Oh, they just cut her in half. Wow. Alan Cummings is Nightcrawler. They made him kiss a girl. Ooh. So yeah, Marvel Endgame. And then Harry Potter TV series and Greta Gerwig's adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia. Featuring Meryl Streep as Jesus Christ. Basically. These shows that, well, I mean, I guess that's a little better than Cynthia Erivo playing Jesus Christ, but here we are. These shows employ hundreds, if not thousands, of British workers. But the homegrown part of the entertainment business in the UK is in deep depression, beset by rising costs and shrinking budgets of major production hubs like the BBC. Wonder what caused that? What caused that? What caused that? You had two of the biggest shows in the world. Top Gear, Doctor Who. Wonder what happened. For the grips, the cinematographers and production designers who once made their living on British produced content, it's never been harder to get a gig. It's feast or famine right now, says one veteran producer, Jonathan Weisler. I've got friends who are going from 100 million film to 100 million film and haven't had a day off in a year, but I know others who would kill just to have a week on that. Elizabeth Murdoch, whose company Sister is behind shows like Black Doves and Chaos, never fucking heard of them, recently said the UK is experiencing a perfect storm of challenges when it comes to TV. She and others argue that spiraling costs and collapsing ad market and major funding cuts across the local networks means there's less money to both scripted and unscripted programming. Moreover, since studios and streamers are economizing, they're less interested in buying foreign-made prestige shows and movies of the kind that the UK is known for. You mean like all your historical dramas with like black people playing white historical figures? You mean those? Can't imagine. That's set for the stage. That's set the stage for contraction in what had been a thriving part of the industry. We've got lots of members who are really struggling and have been for 18 months to 2 years now, says Philippa Childs, head of Broadcasting, Entertainment, Communications, and Theater Union. I can't imagine what caused all of our union members to not have union jobs anymore. I reckon about 50% of the crew are unemployed at the moment. You know who's partially responsible for that? Give you one guess. A union. Says another executive, that number could climb even higher if Donald Trump makes good on his threats to impose tariffs on films, shows produced in foreign countries. Let's blame Donald Trump. This bust for the UK, yeah, it has nothing to do with the garbage you've put out for years, being antagonistic towards the paying customer, going on strike and leading to fewer jobs thanks to your union, leading to contraction because companies want to spend less money because the streaming bubble burst. It was never a real thing. This bust for the UK production is taking place alongside boom in US-backed films and series that have crossed the pond in search of the country's generous subsidies and legendary sound stages. On paper, there are lots of reasons to be optimistic about the direction of the business. Total investment on film at President TV in the UK in 2024 leaped 31% to $7 billion, the second highest year on record, according to figures from the British film industry. And these productions couldn't be splashier. Crews in places like Georgia, New York, and Los Angeles are jealous, even angry that so many major films have decamped overseas instead of being made in the US. Our recent image, whatever the fuck, stupid French word. Avengers Doomsday. Yay. Okay. Spider-Man. Supergirl. Masters of the Universe. Enola Holmes 3? Henry, bro, come on. Enola Holmes 3? Wuthering Heights, Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, and Ahsoka. What sounds good in this entire list? I guess Avengers Doomsday? Maybe Spider-Man Brand New Day? Supergirl's based on a Tom King story. Fuck that shit. I hope Masters of the Universe is good. House of the Dragon. Yeah, fuck. Enola Holmes 3. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on that one. What garbage. What are you doing? Stop. But major studio releases are the only part of the business that's growing. The bulk of the $7 billion film and prestige TV expenditures in the UK came from the US studios. Duh. Nearly everything else, which for the UK largely means broadcast TV for the likes of the BBC and Channel 4, is flatlining. Yes. So once we decide to stop making movies over there because you decide to get rid of your tax cuts, which you will, UK, yeah. What, do you think it was going to last forever? Do you think US film was just going to like, hey, we're going to move Hollywood over to the UK permanently? No. It's getting spread out everywhere now. According to BFI's figures, prestige programming has fallen by a quarter. In recent government inquiry, Peter Kosminski, who directed the acclaimed 2015 BBC series Wolf Hall, arguably the TV show that heralded a new era of high-end TV in the UK, claimed that the last year's follow-up to the show, The Mirror and the Light, could only get made when writer Peter Strahan, leading man Mark Rylance, and he all gave up a significant proportion of their fees. It's very sad to hear. It's really long. So UK is going to get some big blockbusters, but once they're gone, they fucked. Because everybody is contracting. Nobody has the money to do this. What's going to save money? AI. AI. Hi, Trish. How you doing? We're going to get to the square up now. The Naked Gun trailer. The Naked Gun trailer. I think missed the mark on what those movies were. No, I know it missed. There's a couple of scenes like they did the O.J. Simpson thing. The only one I really thought was funny was while he's driving in the car and somebody hands him a coffee while he's driving and he goes, "Thank you." That's what Naked Gun was. But the whole like take a seat and she takes the chair and walks out. It's like it was so clunky and bad. Like we just rewatched all of them for with EFAP for videos that will come out in the future. And they are so fucking clever. They're really smart films. They're not dumb. They're very smart films. This looks like it's just going to be a dumb fart comedy, which still might be good. We need some comedy, for fuck's sake. And Liam Neeson being there is fine. But it just missed the mark for me. It did. It did. Hopefully it's good, though. I will be there opening day. And I hope it's funny as hell. I do. But you can't, I mean, you know, call it something else. Just call it something else. And I'd still watch it. But it doesn't, you know. Doc Comedy, my own name for $10 says, Hail Gary, X-Ray Girl, and As I was so arrogant, I .com my own name in 2020. Now I'm a children's face painter, drive for Uber, and I've been self-employed since. Not rich, not poor either. The nerve to beg for money to pay for your mortgage is crazy. No shame. .com. Hey, that's good that you Uber. That's good that you Uber. I think side gigs are great. I think side gigs are great. And you know what? There's a lot of government entities who want to get them. Yeah, I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a mortgage. Those days are gone for me. And why? Because I made a wise investment with my house before. A house I paid for that I worked decades to achieve. And I was able to buy that house in San Francisco because I made a wise real estate purchase when I was young with my first condo and was able to flip that when I was parts driving and working in a parts department and was able to take that purchase, which my dad loaned me $5,000. I came up with the rest, had to pay my dad back fucking 20% interest because that's my fucking dad. And flipped that house, was able to, and then I had to pay off my ex-wife. And then I was able to buy the San Francisco house. We stayed there for 18 years while I was working parts jobs, owning a comic store. Believe me, I wasn't making a ton of money there, working my fucking ass off for decades. That's why I have no mortgage. Actually had nothing to do with YouTube, bro. Cheers. Hopefully you have the same commitment. Jay Larson, 1214 for $1. Which you guys think is the best and the worst of the following? Marvel Netflix, Disney Marvel post Endgame, and the DC Snyderverse. What? Ooh, in order. And okay, so this is what's better, Marvel Netflix, Disney Marvel post Endgame, or the Snyderverse? That's rough because they all kind of, they tie for last. That's it. Because each one has something good for sure. Each one has something good that I like. Okay, well, I'll say good is relative. Each one has something I like. Marvel Netflix, it's Daredevil and everything in the first half of Luke Cage season 1, Jessica Jones season 1. Everything else is shit. Disney Marvel post Endgame. Are we counting No Way Home? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine, and those are all like arguably 7 out of 10. Or the Snyderverse, which there's elements I like. It's hard to say. I say the tie for last. Caleb for $10. Gary and everyone else, please talk about Marvel 1602 and its viability for the Marvel reboot of the MCU. That would be a bold choice. It is. It's cool. I like Marvel 1602, written by Neil Gaiman. Not going to see him around very much anymore. But I think that would take creativity that I don't think Marvel is Disney. No, that would take creativity that Disney Marvel is not capable of. Yeah, Iron Fist was terrible. Iron Fist was terrible. So Az is still hungry and butt focused, says Psychotic Mongoose for £2 British. Yes. Dark Magician SDY for $2. Any cool or scary ghost experience? Love y'all. I mean, yeah, I have one. I've talked about it before. I was at the La Paloma Theater after Rocky Horror Picture Show. We were hanging out with some of the people, getting a little high, and the dressing room was under the stage because it's an old 20s movie theater. So there's a stage in front of the movie screen. And then if you walk down the side and go under it, the dressing room's under there. And we heard somebody walking across it. And I had already locked up the theater. It was my job to lock up the theater. I know all the little passageways there. So it was built in the 20s. So there's like a little passageway into the bar next door, which was a kind of a speakeasy, I think. We kept on hearing somebody walking across there, and there was, like, long story short, there was nobody there. There's more to the story, but there was nobody there. A couple of people died in that theater too. La Paloma Theater in Encinitas. It's on 101. Accident Seller for 20 Swedish krona or Norwegian krona. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Mahler, my fellow Mac fan, you see Mac OS 26 redesign? Mahler doesn't have a Mac. Does he? Ugh. Ed Song for $10. Some dude was filming a store getting looted while riding a bike. He was joking someone tried to steal the bike from right underneath him. I would have gone for the camera, probably worth more, a little bit more. Yeah, I'd have gone for the camera. Red Right Hand for $10. Isn't all of LA a shit part? Most of it is, but not all. There are some nice parts of LA. Pasadena's nice. Burbank's nice. Little bits of Glendale are nice. I mean, I did spend a lot of time up there, but like if you go up to Thousand Oaks, and that's the LA area. Parts of Orange County, which is technically LA, they're nice. Yeah. Lots of shitty places though. Tons of shitty places. And you have to, I think people just like the idea of LA, but I don't miss traffic. And it was relative. San Francisco is just as bad. It's much smaller city, but it takes you just as long to get across because there's no real freeway system. You have to drive through the center of town. Des Roma for $9.99. Mahler as said he's featured in the Ripazine centerfold. One would think your tentacles, are more impressive unless you rock micro tentacles, which I'm sure are adorable. That would be a question for Mahler. Bjarn Arneson for 750 Martian pesos. If they make a live action Simpsons ever, I want Gary to be a middle-aged punk rocker Millhouse and Mahler as Smithers. There you go. I'd do it. It would cost you though. Bob Brannigan for £5 British. My book, Henry's Hens, is available across the internet. It's about a dog taking some hens to a park. Have fun, a fun and simple story. Please give it a look. Take a look at it. Joke of all butts for 20 Danish krona. Since Az won't budge, X-Ray Girl, play Star Wars Outlaws. She's driving and listening. I'm sure she heard that and she'll say, maybe. Robbie Maddox for $1.99. Made you look. Hail chuds. Hail chuds. Enochmon reviews and rants for $2. The Outlaw Josie Wales is in 4K. So is Pale Rider. Yeah, I got Pale Rider. I don't know how I missed Josie Wales, but I've got it now. I bought it. And I also got my fucking Sean Connery James Bond collection. Can't wait to watch that. We were talking with the family yesterday about The Rock being a Bond film. And I just say yes. We can watch the Sean Connery collection. Do we add Never Say Never Again, chat? Do we add Never Say Never Again? I'm going to say yes. And then we watch The Rock. That is your complete Sean Connery Bond collection. I can't wait to watch that. Fucking A. He's so good in Last Crusade too. He's super good in it. Where to go? It's amazing how relevant Andor is in the current times. One of the best pieces of Star Wars and TV in general. Every act of rebellion pushes our line forward. What score do you give the entire series? John Constantine for $10. Probably not the right person to ask. I think it's definitely the best Disney Star Wars ever made. It's better than Rogue One. I think I would have said before Mandalorian season 1 was probably the best, but I think the good scenes in Andor are light years better than Mandalorian. So like all the Empire stuff is fucking great. There are, what brings it down to, like, for me, like a 6 to 7 out of 10, 6.5 is the fucking useless lesbians that take up so much fucking screen time that don't need to be there, added absolutely zero to the fucking story. The main character, like with Buffy, a lot of people say the main character is the least interesting character in the story. I disagree, but I can understand where they'd say that because there are characters that I like better. But there's like 5 characters I like more than the main character. And that's not supposed to be the case. That is not supposed to be the case at all. But the highs were definitely good. But it does have the Disney Star Wars drag in it. It does have the Disney Star Wars intersectional feminism in it. It does. It just does. But it's just not as bad. And it's balanced out by like a very serious and earnest take at Star Wars, which I think most Star Wars fans wanted to begin with, which was like, if we're going to continue Star Wars, we need to take more of a serious look at it, but we have to take Star Wars seriously and the storytelling seriously. And like the tech, the money that was put into it, you definitely see it. And the tech was fucking great. Like the tech and the effects and everything were great. Like better than the fucking movies. It doesn't make Rogue One better. It makes it objectively worse. It makes it so much worse. They don't go together at fucking all. They are totally jarring. Because I watched it afterwards. And I'm like, oh, that was a bad move. But whatever lessons Disney is going to learn from Andor, I promise you it will be all the wrong ones. Wish I could say better. So, I mean, I think you could kind of treat, if you're a Star Wars fan, in a way, you kind of treat Andor like you treat Star Trek Picard season 3. Like, oh, they actually squeaked out something pretty good. I'll take it and walk away. Mahler, what did you do? The only time I see Rags is on when he's on FNT and streaming Gollum. Has he not suffered enough? No, he hasn't suffered enough, Ed. I'm going to speak for Mahler. He has not suffered enough. Okay. just because I like to see people suffer. It's fun. Did you see the Japanese trailer for Superman? I did. Ordinary Adonis 87 for $199. Yeah, it's interesting. I was just talking to Nick about this with Superman is so much more scrutinized than Fantastic Four. And the reason being is it's being scrutinized for all the right reasons. And people go, why can't you just enjoy it? Like these are fucking nerds. So nerds and they're going to scrutinize just like they scrutinize Superman Returns and Man of Steel and all. This is what they do. But they're scrutinizing the shots, how Superman is presented, Lex Luthor's voice. These are normal things to scrutinize that people could all, like, when they see it in context, walk out and go, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Instead of, but they're scrutinizing what's there instead of going, well, Fantastic Four just looks like shit. That's pretty much the commentary on Fantastic Four right now. It just looks like shit. So the scrutiny is much different. It's also a lot more. And that's because, James Gunn in the past has not made any friends. That he's done some pretty stupid things on the internet. So you get what you get when you play those games. Hail the real BBC question. When is the last time y'all collectively roasted Grace Randolph? Easy to roast that shill for her voice alone. Jonathan Mustaine for $5. It's been a while. I think we just talked. She just had a bad take. We discussed it. Oh no, she had a good, no, the last time we talked about her, she had a begrudgingly good take. Because she didn't say MCU this time, but she basically said that Fantastic Four is MCU. The end is MCU. How much gun could a James Gunn gun if a James Gunn could James Gunn? Scott Kerr asked for 5 Canadian pesos. A gun. Gary, I found the end of your recent Doctor Who video very moving. It's motivating me to finish Capaldi's run. Heard great things about Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent's great, Ben. Capaldi's run is filled with ups and downs, but his performances are always good. The writing, not so much. Ryan Crawford for $4.99. Gary, the wife has heard your sound advice on FNT a few weeks ago, how to repay her for the Metallica tickets. She agreed. One up, bro. There you go. That's my man. There's only one thing you always ask for. Wyatt Russell was a part of the anti-ice riots. He actually wasn't. That was not him. As go grip a cock. Well, that's what he's doing right now. That wasn't Wyatt Russell, says JB24 for $2. There you go. All Disney had to do was make D+, put their whole vault on there, not make anything else specifically for it, and they would have made money. You're right. And throw it as an ad tier. That's why Tubi is killing right now, because it doesn't cost a lot of money and you've trained people for ads, but we're all getting ads soon. We're all getting ads. D-Day Cobra's busted balloon knot for $2. 41% is quite frankly too high. Those are rookie numbers. Clank on a tank for $2. No Shelby Foote wrote the Civil War. Shelby Foote wrote the Civil War. LOL. That's right. When will the irritating trend of trailer music having constant pounding drums finally end? Fucking not soon enough. We just got rid of the French horns. French horn farts is as Razorfist puts it. Retro respawn. Clank on a tank. So you said Ironheart, and I sort of threw up in my mouth a little bit. That's coming in a few days. Eddington, my modern Western is No Country for Old Men. Yep. I have the ultimate movie for Hollywood: DSP versus Boogie, Battle of the Grifters, because Hollywood is out of ideas. Mahler and Az would be the first in line. They would. Mahler Jaws EFAP for its 50th anniversary. Says Zeddy Boy. Yes. It's funny how all the icons of communism end up on a T-shirt. Yes. And they're all fucking trust fund kids and they all die early deaths. Heartbreak Ridge for $5. Breaking news: Nick Frost likes money. Yes, he does. Scott Kerr for $5. Look up Dear James Potter on YouTube. It's a funny robot chicken sketch that will give you a good laugh. It's only 1 minute. Okay, we'll see later. We'll hit that later. I got it ready. Okay, I got it ready, Scott. Any chance they will use John Williams' score for new Harry Potter? They should. There's no reason to change that theme. That is one of the greatest themes of all time. Hedwig's theme. It's technically Hedwig's theme. Tubister 57 for $5. Holy FNA, Gary. I'm a blacksmith. Can't be getting misty at work listening to the end of your Doctor Who video. Even hits for non-Who fans. Preach. Thank you. Ian Perry worked hard on that one. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But that's I mean, it's the state of all of our franchise, really. You know, like ultimately we point and laugh because they've made it such a mockery. We have no other choice. But ultimately, I think we all would have rather have had the things be fucking left alone. Just left alone. I guess mileage may vary, but I can still go back and watch old Star Trek. Like Kurtzman Trek didn't ruin Star Trek for me as much as Star Wars has been ruined for me. Like I really can't go back and watch it. Plus, there's like, for me anyway, there's only like 3 or 4 things to watch. You can only watch them so many times. So it's different with a TV show. Like Doctor Who, I can still go back and watch it, especially the classic stuff. That's very rewatchable for me. Not for everybody else, but for me. Yeah, and it sucks. And I'm just glad they didn't like get around to Babylon 5. You know, which I got into way later, by the way. I didn't watch it when it was coming out. I didn't watch it. I actually got into it later and fucking loved it. So I didn't watch it in the 90s. I think I watched it for the first time. What was it? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Somebody in the chat's like, gotta watch it. Kept watching. Kind of like Matthew Hammond with Stargate. I never watched Stargate. So I'll probably end up watching it, but like Babylon 5, a little easier commitment. It's 5 years, it's 5 seasons and some specials, you know? So yeah, they don't get around to Farscape, Babylon 5, and hopefully for you Stargate fans, they don't fucking touch it. You don't want a new one. Just enjoy what you had. Just enjoy it. You don't want it to come back. You'll fucking hate it. But yeah, I just watched I think I watched like 8 episodes of Babylon 5. Just fucking great stuff. And it's funny, my son, I was talking to my son about it. I'm like, you know, Straczynski and George R. R. Martin were buddies, and they worked together on Twilight Zone in the 80s. And there's very similar things in Babylon 5 to A Song of Ice and Fire. Very similar themes, events, characters. There's George is way more detailed and in depth, but if you look at fighting, ruling factions, bickering with each other, conspiring against each other with a darker threat called the Shadows, which the White Walkers are referred to in the show. The Shadows come to dance. A lot of similarities I've noticed. It's not bad. I don't care, but a lot of similarities with DS9 too. I can hear you. I can hear you. And you know what? I like DS9 and Babylon 5. That's my opinion. We get 2 good series out of that. And at the time, I was a DS9 fucking snob, and that's why I didn't watch Babylon 5, because I was a fucking Star Trek snobby fucking dumb shit. And I'm like, it's just a ripoff of Star Trek the F9, which is a masterpiece, by the way. And then I went and watched it. I went, oh shit, they're both good. You know, you learn when you get older. I fucking love B5 though. B5 is fucking awesome. And like the story behind, like, a lot of the cast is dead. And like, it's, you know, you can like put the curse on that one. The doctor died of a heart attack, right? Just like a little aneurysm, heart attack, something like that. Garibaldi was based, by the way, did a radio show. So the guy playing Garibaldi was totally fucking based. He passed away in 2012 or 13. Heart attack. Michael Sinclair went crazy. Jerry Doyle's radio show. I listened to some of the old stuff. It was freaking awesome. It was. He was based. He was. Michael O'Hare. Why did I say Sinclair? Michael O'Hare. Sorry. Didn't mean to say Sinclair. My bad. Yeah, he died. Schizophrenia. And then the actor played Jakar, died, you know, heavy smoker, died early. Like a bunch of, and then if you go down, there's a list on IMDb, by the way, and it's big. It's a big list of people who have died on Babylon 5. Half the cast is fucking dead. Yeah, it's really sad what happened. Like the Michael O'Hare thing is really fucking sad. Really. Okay, back to this. But a good show that, like, in good hands in another lifetime, in another reality, probably could be the basis for a pretty fucking good show. But you already got the good show. Have any of you seen Straw Peak Cinema? I have not, said Dustin. Asked Dustin Scott. Razor Burn for $2 as Bricklink Lego pre-order going on right now. They have a bunch of One Piece Legos from I think it's Netflix One Piece Lego sets. Hopefully Steph is building my Baradur. I don't know if I have it at the house though. Can't remember. Any thoughts on whether or not Malazan Book of the Fallen would be adapted? If so, who should do it? Nobody should be adapting any books right now, ever. Moratorium on making anything that you love. Varn for €5. Name from Eminem. Oh, I read this one. We read this one. X-Ray Girl. I feel quite hungry, says Henry of Skalitz, 1403. Will Fantastic Chick 4 be better or worse than Fan 4 Stick? I think it'll be better than Fan 4 Stick, but not by much. Chat has been making an argument, and Chat's usually right, that I think I'm swaying towards. Because at first I said, and I still say this, Fantastic Four was ruined for me with Female Silver Surfer, the introduction. But the more you think about it, it'll probably be Pedro Pascal that ruins it more than Female Silver Surfer. And I think I'm being swayed to that side. The chat's been very convincing with their argument. They've cited some good reasons and details why Female Silver Surfer is fucking retarded. It's dumb by all means, but there's just going to be more Pedro Pascal than her. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. It's a good argument. It's a good argument, chat. So well done. Zorbu, please open my tight ass. Says Columnar Basil. Zorbu, you have a request. No, as is in Singapore. My bad. He's in Taiwan. getting the lady boys. That's what he's doing. Okay. I'm just going to out him right now. That's what he's doing. He's in fucking Taiwan doing that Taiwan shit. The singing Tigs for $2. X-ray probably tastes like General singing Tigs. I can't finish that. She works for me. Like, if I read that super chat, that might be harassment. So I probably should. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it says. It says X-ray probably tastes like General Sauce. Good. Nick XH for $9.99. I might be done with Nintendo, who have become the Disney of gaming at this point because their business practices just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I agree. I stand in solidarity with you, Nick. I am not going to buy a Switch 2. Ever. I am never, ever going to buy a Switch 2. I stand with you, brother. Power to the people. Varn for €5. Watch your Doctor Who eulogy. Probably your best video. Thank you. I think it's Perry's best editing job, and he just had his previous best editing job on the top 10 Star Wars. But thank you. Watching Doctor Who from 2010 till 2017, and now officially I can say, Doctor, I let you go. Cheers, Varn. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. That was going to be the whole intention of that video. This is before the final episode landed. So it was just going to be, well, God, this whole series is so fucking memeable. I have to do a video. Like, there's lots of memeable clips. It's pretty funny. But then when I finished the final episode, it wasn't like when I finished Acolyte and I just went, oh, fuck. I just kind of went, because it's memeable. Like, if they make the memes, I don't. I just show them to you. So after this, I was like, that sucks. You know, certainly it's an unintentional comedy and I ripped it all the way, but I wasn't like burn it down. I was, thank God it's over, but I wasn't burn it down. I was like, this sucks, man. It sucks. And that's the point where we all got to, when you let, it's acceptance. It's acceptance. Like, I mean, I always knew, and I've always said, like, since the time of children, you aren't turning Doctor Who around, but then it became a reality after that final episode. And I mean, ever. So whatever Doctor Who happens next, it will not be what much better women and men created before and kept going for decades and decades, an institution in the country. It will never be that institution again. That era is now officially over. It's been and dead for a while, but it's officially over. And that's a bummer. Didn't need to be this way. You know, we have people out there calling you Star Trek fans, calling you Star Wars fans, calling you Doctor Who fans racist. It's like, have you watched the show? How would any racist like this show? Any of those shows? How would any racist like them at all? What the very small, minuscule amount of fandom wants and needs us to be, us chuds, right? They need us to be Nazis. That's why they constantly call us Nazis, because they need us to be that. They need us to actually be that, because they can't argue our criticisms at all. They can't debate them. They have not come up with a counter argument that works, that catches on with anybody, because it's empty, because they are lying. They know it sucks too, but they can't admit it because we, the chuds, were fucking right. And guess what the chuds were? Fans. So that's why they need to throw the hyperbolic shit at me and all you guys in there. It's like, you know, I mean, it's fucking old hat at this point. And they not only need us to be Nazis, they desire it. They want it more than anything. Because if we're not, then there's a lot of shit they have to face. There's a lot of reality they have to face that they don't have the mental strength to do. And that's why they will be trapped in themselves forever. So don't ever get mad Don't ever get mad at this shit. Don't ever get mad at people throwing like useless shit at you on the internet. That's why I don't get in these slap fights, because like there's no punishment I could give out. There's nothing we could do that they don't do to themselves already. Find it in your heart, have a little empathy and pity going, whew, or at least, use it as a grading curve. Like, God, thank God I'm not like that. Might have a few problems in my life right now, but my God, I'm not sitting there praying some people are Nazis so I don't have to admit I'm wrong. It's a miserable place to be. Weekly Marvel versus DC. Atrocitus with the Red Lantern power battery versus Super Skrull trying to go for peak power. Whoa, that's a good one. Okay, so you didn't define Super Skrull from when? Because the Super Skrull with just the Fantastic Four powers, you still got you have Invisible Woman's powers, which are pretty fucking powerful. But I'm gonna go with Atrocitus on that one. If we're just going with the Fantastic Four Super Skrull, like the OG Super Skrull. That's a good one, though. That is a good one. Well played on that one, sir. All right, we're going to get over to FNT. Let's read some member chaps real quick. Chats. Chaps. But yeah, the reason I don't get into slap fights or it's a complete waste of time. It's not real. Most of the time it comes from, we're talking specifically from other content creators. 99% of the time, it's just because they're a content creator. It really has nothing to do with your arguments, your beliefs, whatever idea your channel is based on. They don't care. They're pocket watching, or they just there's something they felt like they're. I mean, it's envy, which it doesn't ever need to be, which is a personal problem. It's not my problem. It's a personal problem. They're feeling less than for some reason, and they need to project it on somebody else, me, Jeremy, as whatever. There's nothing I can or would be willing to do to help in any way, shape, or form. I can't save everybody. But I wouldn't care. I think a lot of it is that. No, I know a lot of it is that. It has nothing to do with the actual argument or having integrity or having belief systems. And as I've said, it's really difficult for the dishonest man to comprehend the honest man. That goes for women too. It's a very difficult thing. What did somebody on my dad posted? My Father's Day post just said, "I miss you, Pops." And somebody posted, and this is Twitter, and I get it. And half of it could be trolling. So that's the other thing is is it trolling? Because trolling I respect, but or if a guy was serious, but he said, what did he say? I'm paraphrasing. He said, "Your dad looks cool, but look what you turned out to be. You fucking raging on the internet about Hollywood. You dress like an 8-year-old and you're sitting in front of a bunch of toys." I'm like, yep. That's supposed to bother me? Gee, I you know what? It didn't even cross my mind to be embarrassed about sitting a bunch of toys that I painstakingly set up for hours in my studio, so I don't have some basic bitch fucking background, the kind of like I do right now in my studio. I totally forgot to be embarrassed about that. Maybe I should get around to it someday. No shame to my game, baby. Gus, been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Gus. Lady Gravemaster, ad read reminder. Thank you. Also, get more sticky notes. So I need to buy sticky notes to make a sticky note to remind me to get more sticky notes. So I remind myself to do ad reads, which I may or may not have to do in 2 more weeks. We'll see. Melkor is a new member. Oh, Melkor. You know what? Hey, we accept everybody here. Even those of you who exist in the void. It was your own fault, buddy. It really was your own fault. Always having to put in that discord in the song of creation. You didn't need to do that. You could have sung along. You could have added to the song. You could have made everything great. Nope. Hanzo Swardo 1, been a member for 15 months. Gary, I just rewatched your podcast with the unsubscribed crew. You need to meet up with them for another one, unless you guys aren't friends anymore. Hanzo, a podcast just dropped last night with me and Eli. We are friends. We are friends. So go to Say Hi to Eli. It's the spinoff podcast. They do a lot of stuff with Pepperbox. I'm a big fan of Pepperbox. It's creator owned. So if you want to see more of those guys, they do a lot of fun stuff on that thing. It's an app. I think it's like $8 a month, but you get a lot of exclusive unsubscribed guys podcast. That's Donut, that's Brandon, Fat Electrician, Eli, all the other guys. I think is Angry Cops on there? I think so. Hail Angry Cops, by the way. You're doing fucking God's work out there. Gets the Buffalo school system. But yeah, Eli and I just had like a real talk, like not the normal kind of talk I have, which is more about some of the book stuff. So Hanzo Sword, go take a look at it. It is on the Say Hi to Eli. Go subscribe there. So it's Eli from Unsubscribe. He does his own little podcast called Say Hi to Eli. Follow him on Twitter. Just dropped last night. So we had the Hodge twins, and that was tons of fun. Love all those guys. Eli's my boy, man. Homeboy, man. He we live near each other. So Electrify 928 is a new member. Hail. Now, Unsub is legit one of the best podcasts out there. Legalized Adulthood has been a member for 14 months. War of the Supervillains. MODOK with his giant robot body is freaking awesome. Member for 14 months, and all I got with this great FNT letter jacket. Aw. Legalized Adulthood, you rule. Chelsea M, member for 1 month, says, so it's okay to bastardize IPs that are based on Christianity, the main religion of the U.S., but it's not okay to do the same to other religions. Got it. Yeah, it's I'm not a Christian, right? So I'm not a Christian, but I call it out a lot because it's fucking obvious. It's like you've been the low-hanging fruit for Hollywood forever. It's been very easy to pick on forever when there's other religions out there that are especially, okay, so a lot of the resentment Christianity comes from the gay side of Hollywood. It just does. Maybe a little bit from another side too, but we'll just focus on the gay side. It's the gay side where most of the resentment comes towards you. That's what it is. So it's a lot of resentment, but that resentment is now misplaced. You know, it's not the 80s and 90s anymore. That resentment is misplaced. And there is other religions that are, I would say, a little bit harder on gay people than Christianity. Throwing them off roofs, for example, decapitations, executions, countries where it's illegal. By the way, a lot of those gay people and work in Hollywood work for companies that do business in countries where they're not allowed to be gay, but they still work for those companies. Where's your integrity? How committed are you to the cause? So yeah, Christians get a bad rap for that. Get a lot of shit for that. Smooth the DJ. Hail, brother. Hail, brother. Yeah, I'm not an atheist either, though. I'm definitely. I used to be one. No atheists in a foxhole. I definitely have the higher. I do the higher power thing, but some of the stuff I believe might be considered a little weird. It's not. I mean, it's not Scientology. Don't get me wrong. Zoroastrianism. No, just kidding. All right, we're gonna get to FNT here. It's FNT time. I think I missed one from last night too. Hang on, let me. From Forbidden Frontier. One moment, everybody. Un momento, por favor. For our soon to be deported Spanish speaking friends. I'm kidding. Hey, could you hold off ICE? Could you hold off until my contractors are done in my house? Could you maybe just wait a couple days, please? I got a water heater. I need that sucker fixed, man. Oh my. Hang on. God, why can I not find this now? There it is. It was WG. Oh, fucking look. God damn. There it is. Happy Father's Day. WG for $10 said Happy Father's Day. We missed that one last night, so we're getting it tonight. Hail WG. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I got some contractors out. They got to rip out the water. So the expansion in Texas, there's expansion takes on water heaters. We're going to do some dad shit now because it gets hot in Texas. Because it gets hot. Now, this is something I never had to deal with in California at all, is an expansion tank. And these things pop seals and they blow. So one, when we were in Vegas, I guess one had a little pinhole and it was just spraying water for like 3 weeks in my, so I have in my house, I have an outer room that's in the backyard by the pool. That's where the water heater goes. So thank God it's not in the house. We have to rip out the fucking wall because it had like alien spore mold on it. And I just got a water heater. So the new water heater has to be completely taken apart, taken out. All the pipes, all the copper pipes are going to be taken out. Not sold by tweakers. Then they got to rip the wall out. Then they got to put the wall back up. Then they got to put all the pipes back and then the water heater back. So part of the reason I'm in Wisconsin is I wouldn't have had water in my house for like a week and a half. So I'm like, I'm just not going to fucking be there. So we have somebody else overseeing. And thank you to that person. But yeah, you could hold off the ice raids for like a week. That'd be nice. What's up, Dan? Late happy Father's Day, Gary. You're like a great, great, great grandfather to me. Yes. And you know what your great, great grandfather would say? Stop being gay. Stop with the gay shit. Stop with the gay shit. Oh, I was going back to that old tweet. There we go. There we go. Ellsworth, 1969. Shad, we need a response. Rags said you can't kill a knight by throwing him off a castle wall if he is wearing armor. Please correct the record. Also, Macalishans, I can't even fucking pronounce it. It's Macalish, whatever the fuck they are. I don't care. Yes, you can. You can kill a fucking knight by pushing him off a wall. I don't care how much armor he's got. The Jeremy for $5. Gary, as you're both slipping on the real BBC, you mentioned Galactus swallowing planets with his ass. Yes, we did. Yet you both failed to crack a black hole joke. Okay, well, maybe we're saving it for later. Or nor mention of homosexual man Jeremy sub D-Day October guard in the same breath. For shame, good sirs. You know, like, you got to parse out the Jeremy is gay jokes a little bit, okay? It gets a little redundant. You know what I mean? But I'd have to go back and see what we were spitballing for Galactus sucking up planets up his ass. The Jeremy for $5. Also, thanks to the real BBC. I can't wait for X-Ray Girl's next grift. Poor dogging choices. Although that content is best suited for Chrissy, especially if she contracts out Zia or whatever Amy. Oh, yeah. Pass the lube. Okay, thank you. More from the Jeremy for $5 says, due to my last supper, I better distinguish hetero dogging from homo dog. Super. Sorry, why did I say supper? Due to my last super, I better distinguish hetero dogging from homo dogging, just so D-Day Jeremy sub doesn't get too excited. Him and his love for Nintendo is so gay, he makes RTD fisting power bottom shooty Gatwa at the Folsom Street Fair look super straight. Wow. You know about the Folsom Street Fair, huh? Woo. Don't look it up. Happy Father's Day, says WG. So it's there. Bob Lobster for $25 sent 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Michael Brocky for $5 Australian dollars. My sister went fishing with 5 guys, and all she caught was a red snapper. Good morning from Australia. If I super chat for $2, does it get split 9 ways? I mean, technically, yes. Technically, yes. Cam Dune for $5. What is all of your opinions about the Pontius? I find him the most researched of the Warhammer 40K lore masters. Oh, okay. It's Warhammer. That's why I know nothing about it. I'm sorry. We'll get Arch back. We got to get him back on. He was a great. Ronti for 400 Martian pesos. Hey, guys. When you say it's India after all, remember the small building didn't fall after the crash, not like the American buildings. Okay, good point. You got us there, Ronti. Too soon, Air India? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not getting on a plane for a while. Ryan, Ronti says, hey, Ryan, you racist bitch. You are comparing the worst parts of India to yourself compared to the LA zombies. Indians live much more safely. There you go. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, with Skid Row and what I know of the Tenderloin and 6th Street, it's like, in some cases, we don't have a ton of room to talk. But you get outside of those cities, man. Give me American rural areas all day long. They're fucking safe. They're great. I mean, you might not want to wander onto like a weed farm, okay? But other than that, Have you ever seen Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap? We have. I think it's selling for a lot of money on eBay right now. Good for the speculators doing their thing, man. Daughter went out for cigarettes. New territory, says you're Barmy for $2. Hey, it is. Someone really needs to explain the science of dilution to Hollywood filmmakers and how it pertains to franchises. If they had explained it to him 10 years ago, maybe. But the science of dilution is called it's entropy. It's just entropy. So it's not really dilution at this point. It is the natural order of entropy. I'm glad that you're going to do FNT purely on YouTube again instead of splitting between YouTube and Rumble. How it was before felt more focused, TJ Jordan. And that's what we're going to have, a more focused show. Yeah, we tried it. Can't knock things until you try it. So I try it for most parts, except for there's certain things I'm just going to knock and not try. Okay, be real. But yeah. We're going to be more focused. It's going to be simpler for me. Anti-Federalist Pain. Anti-Federalist Pain for $5 says Bond, Jane Bond. It's just now it's now just $7 because they cut off his balls. I get it. Some Norwegian guy for 59 Norwegian krona. Daniel Craig's Bond is like Disney Star Wars. It doesn't count. Yeah. Dude, Casino Royale is fucking great. I generally didn't like anything after that. I think it was just really mediocre to meh. It was joyless. It was joyless Bond. Joyless Bond. Anti-Federalist Pain for $5. It's no shit. Today they're saying a lot. Damn, our bar is low, and Hollywood still manages to crawl under it. It really does. Craig Riley for $5. Hail, fellowship. About to check in on Warfare here shortly. Kind of looking forward to it. Oh, and hi, Rags. Yeah, what I can say about Warfare is Mahler loves it. Critical Drinker loved it, and I talked to Eli about it, who's a vet. And I said, he said it's very accurate. And he gave me an example of a shot you have to give to I forget, why am I blanking on the name? It's the something pen. So you're not supposed to, there's a scene with a shot that he said is really fucking accurate because the guy shoots himself in the hand with it instead of sticking it in your chest. So yeah, he said it's really fucking good. So but you have to be in a mood to see it, right? I have to be in the right mood to see it. Anti-Federalist Pain for $10. No more phases, no more universes. Just make good superhero movies. And if you can, tie them together later. Great. That's how Marvel started in the first place. Ghosty for £5 Terry Pratchett and I finished the whole of Discworld before Game of Thrones will be finished. Yes, he did. Terry Pratchett finished, not an I, but I finished. It was an I in there for some reason. I don't judge X-Ray Girl for being in Hufflepuff. They're just jealous because they can't be near her like I soon will be, says X-Ray's future pet water monitor for $5. Ugh. F you, Gary. Evanescence is a great band. No, they're not. Blackguard 4. My son liked them, but no. They are way too poppy for me. If you get placed in Hufflepuff, does that count as being outed? I'm sure it was a surprise to some of the kids out there to learn they're gay now. I got scolded by Melissa's cousin's daughter because she was listening to FNT and she came out and scolded me about the Hufflepuff shit. And I'm like, for one, what are you listening to FNT for? You're 11. Yeah, she gave me a bunch of shit after the show. It's like, we're going to have a talk. I'm like, whoa, what? got scolded by an 11-year-old. I love how Felton said Potter like Malfoy does. I know, Potter. That was good. Getting in the character there. My favorite subject is Professor Garlic. I don't know what she teaches. Been too distracted. By the time I left the class, my house changed to Slitherpuff, of which I am the only student, says Gunner, for 100 Norwegian krona. Sorry, but the multi-ethnic Vikings is a killer on the adaptation for me, says Aaron Pipes for $10. It was stupid. It was really dumb. But the worst part of the movie is Astrid. Harukami for £5 British. I think the best live action remake of cartoon is still Lord of the Rings. There you go. Technically, it's Lord of the Rings. It was a cartoon first. It was. Bashki, fucking. I own now 9 cells from that movie. 9 animation cells signed by Ralph Bakshi. And yeah. Rags, How to Train Your Dragon remake better or worse than Lilo and Stitch? Ooh, I forgot to ask him that. He did not like it. My opinion on it is like I honestly, after watching it, and I listen, I made everybody watch it. I'm like, I don't even want to fucking talk about this. Like, I don't care enough to talk about it at all. It is a soulless fucking remake. It's a better soulless remake, but it remains a soulless fucking remake. Like, the animated characters have more character, more soul. They're more endearing. Battle scenes are better in the live action. The dragons look fucking badass. The ending scene was great as a spectacle, but for a story, it just was okay. It exists. That's how I feel about it. It's not horrible in any way. Your kids will enjoy it. You will taking your kids out. It'll be a very memorable, forgettable experience. You'll remember going to the movie. You won't remember much, and what you do will probably be from the original animated. And it'll make a lot of money. But it is not good. It is not groundbreaking for Hollywood overall, for an industry, for entertainment, for creativity. It's fucking horrible that they're going to keep remaking animated films. It's fucking terrible. TJ Jordan for $5. You know what I'm starting to take back what I said about wanting Spaceballs 2. The teaser was enough to put majority of my worries to rest. The teaser was good. That was a good teaser. Josh Gad being involved is a red flag the size of Mount Rushmore. Sorry, the size of, not Mount Rushmore. Why am I fucking? It's the size of Jupiter. Bad. Here, Rags, use this. As was reenacting the centerfold pose. Any truth to the rumor that Rachel Zegler will play the princess, the daughter of Lone Star and Vespa? No. You know what? Because the Melissa's cousin's daughter was here, she got to pick the movie the night after FNT, and I sat through. Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I think I recall some people saying Rachel Zegler was good in that. She was fucking objectively terrible in it. She was fucking awful. She cannot act. So she is definitely not worth the trouble, because she tried to pull off this kind of southern fucking country bumpkin accent in it, and it kept on changing back and forth. She's fucking terrible. And that movie was long. And the best part is when, what's his fucking name? Ice Snow shoots her at the end. I just ruined it. He shoots her at the end. Now we don't. It's kind of left like, is she alive? Is she dead? We don't know. I don't care. But I was really down. I was really fucking down. Who's the most annoying for FNT guest? Gavin McGinnis. Like, not even close. I was really down with Snow shooting her. I'm like, if all the kids are like this, then fucking go Hunger Games. But Jesus, the movie was long and she was fucking terrible in it. Made my head hurt. Ked Dragneel for 1999. You guys talk a ton about shows and movies that are unintentionally hilarious. What's the hardest you've ever laughed at one of those movies or shows? Oh God. I think it's, I don't think, I think the hardest I've ever laughed was The Acolyte, with the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. I mean, I was gut laughing. I was snot laughing at that. I was pissing myself. It was so fucking funny when I first saw it. I could not believe it. I think it was a watch party. I was fucking like, at first I was shocked. But that's the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen. There's so many to choose from. The Witcher, when they repeated the entire episode and they're singing the song like, everything is not what it seems, because they're trying to tell you that everything is not what it seems. And I was pissing myself for that one too. Siri. Where's Siri? You haven't seen the film War starring Jet Li and Jason Statham, then I highly recommend it. It's an underrated action movie worth watching. I've seen it, TJ. Oh, yeah. Obadiah Stane's famous quote for Riri Williams. Riri Williams was able to steal this suit with her bare hands while living in Section 8 housing despite being a genius. That's accurate. Jay Chain for $4.99. Gary, who's looking forward to watching Ironheart? Also, Gary, my accountant. Yeah. That's in a few days. I want to see how Black Iron Magic Woman Girl makes a miniaturized FNT reactor instead of be a hero. Says left-handed raccoon for $10. Roddle, I can't pronounce that, for $5. Part 1, Truth, Justice in the American Way, a phrase made famous by Superman, reflecting values many Americans associate with their nation, which ironically is funny considering Superman himself is literally an illegal alien from another planet who was adopted and raised in Kansas. Yes, he was. He's a legal resident. Yeah. They try to play that illegal alien shit in the comics too. So technically, America's biggest hero is an undocumented extraterrestrial immigrant from who became the symbol of American ideals. Poetic. It's no fun being an illegal alien. Sorry, had to turn you guys off to listen to the original John Williams theme. So that's okay, Emo. We appreciate it. Oh, good. I got the all dudes section of the stream. The missus is seriously considering a legal separation and hasn't been at home in 6 days. And I'm kind of struggling here. I'm not offing myself. I have kids and they need a father. Yeah. Blackest Night. Hang in there, brother. Hang in there. You got your kids. Did Ryan get laid? He is cheerful this morning. Maybe. Or maybe he had just good jerk off. You never know. All hail Friday Night Tights. Says Alucard for $2. Thank you. Black Solid Snake Moan for $4.99. I wouldn't put it past James Gunn to be in the movie as a cameo. I wouldn't either. But someone calls him Stan Lee in this scene, even though it's DC. I should, Chris, if you're out there and you're listening, ask our guy, is James Gunn in the movie? Does he make a fucking cameo in his movie? Jeremy can't understand Mobland because he doesn't understand English. Also, hail FNT. I mean, he admitted it. Huff Rolls for 200. Norwegian Corona says 28 years later will be the last good movie released this year. Changed my mind. It might be. It's coming out this week, I think. Austin Harm for $9.99. I'll watch the Superman film in theaters. I cannot die with Man of Steel as the last Superman film I saw in theaters. Pray I survive till then. We will pray for you. I hope it's good. I was thinking, is James Gunn too much for of a madman to do simple character like Superman? I think so. I hope I'm proven wrong. I want to walk out of that going 10 out of 10. Best superhero movie in years. I fucking loved it. The superhero movie has a future. That's what I want. Snacks for $5. Wait a minute. How come whenever Superman's James Gunn shows up, Ricky Berwick always seems to disappear? Could it be? I think you found out what happened. Gunn should have made a Star-Lord movie. Probably. It's more his speed. I made a suggestion. Snowflame. Snowflame would be the perfect James Gunn movie. Andrew Valdez for $9.99. You guys should EFAP Angry Joe's trailer review. It's probably the most cringe simping thing I've ever seen in a while. Would also totally do an EFAP on his review when it comes out. Isn't he a video game reviewer? Maybe I should start reviewing video games. Griff Nizzle for $10. Would be 10 times better if they had used John Williams music. Yes, Perry proved that in his trailer. Even Superman Returns got that right, at least. Yes, it did. Jace Darkfire for $2 says, Timma, live out, Timma. Dude, Cripple Fight was some of the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen. I try to use that. I used that clip a couple times in videos, but goddamn Cripple Fight. Holy shit. I need more of that in my life. Andrew Valdez for $9.99. You guys should EFAP. Oh, I read that one. Gary, what happened to the lawsuit with Disney and Gina? It got postponed to next year. So Charlie B, the news came out a couple of months ago that Gina had won pretty much everything. She had won Discovery, but Disney had been purposefully dragging their feet. So the judge finally said, no, you have to have your shit together by, I believe, February of 2026. So it's still going. It is still going, and it's looking good. It's looking good. My guess is, this is just my best guess. This is just pure speculation on my part, with knowing absolutely, positively zero about the case myself. I have not talked to any lawyers. I don't talk to Gina. So this is purely my speculation. They've offered a settlement. I promise you they've offered a settlement, probably multiple settlements. And she said no. That's the only explanation of why this has gone this far, is the nature of a lot of lawsuits is just to get out of it with a settlement. That's where most of them are handled. So I promise you, Disney has offered her a settlement. How good is that settlement? I don't know. But, if the settlement was good, it must have been tough. It must have been a fucking tough choice for Gina. Is like, holy shit. Because, her name could get cleared, right? But I guarantee you that she wouldn't accept any settlement without an apology, which I don't think Disney's willing to do. That would be my guess. Is I don't want just some fucking money. You guys set out to ruin my, the tortious interference thing. Remember that lawsuit that fucking fizzled out because somebody, pussed out. So they're tortious, they interfered with her career. And it doesn't matter how much money her family has. It doesn't matter how much money she has. That's irrelevant. is it is a fact that she is not getting roles right now because of Disney. You know, they just did a big Deadpool Wolverine thing, brought back a lot of characters. They could have brought back Gina's character, but they didn't because they don't want anything. They didn't bring back TJ Miller either. And they missed TJ Miller, by the way. But yeah. So my guess is it's going to trial because Gina wouldn't accept the settlement because the settlement wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough. So we'll see. I think she's in it to win it. And I don't think Disney wants to go to Discovery. If Disney was smart, I would, you know what? I'd offer up a big old apology, but the apology has to come from Kathleen Kennedy. Oh my God, that would be so great. It's like Kathleen Kennedy has to go on Disney Plus and read an apology to Gina Carano. And they could I want it live streamed. And I want it on YouTube. This is what I want now. I want it on YouTube. I want it on Rumble. I want it on Kick. I want it on X. That'd be the greatest thing I've ever seen if that happened. Fade in. And I want her apologizing like John Cena apologizes to China. I want it that heartfelt. Okay. I want it that heartfelt. Got here late, but delighted to see Rags on again. Hate mongers have toxic positivity again. James Gunn, Superman, I'm going to be a mother. Also, what if the teeth shattered instead? It looks like it was just pulling them out at the dentist chair perfectly. Says Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, it. So when Superman hits the guy and then the teeth hit the camera, I didn't like that either. Super cringe is a Flash movie 2.0. It really does look like. Okay, so the Flash scenes, the action scenes in Flash look like video games, video game battle scenes. So in the Flash scene where they're out there taking on the Kryptonians, it's like they're in the middle of the desert, but it looks like a fucking video game, like a old video game. It doesn't look good. It looks terrible. It doesn't look cinematic. It looks goofy. And maybe that was the point, but they failed. Same cinematographer. First time listening live as always, solid entertainment. As I sent an email with artwork attachment, maybe you missed it or you thought it was shit. Either way, it's just an indication of appreciation, says Copaverse. Thank you, Copaverse. Thanks for listening live. Dakota for $19.99. Hail FNT. This is my first super chat ever. I'll watch it on delay. Have you ever checked out My Name? Disparu mentioned it on Open Bar. I was wondering what everyone else thought of it. Definitely recommend it. P.S. Mobland is fucking awesome. Mobland is fucking awesome. Yeah, Jeremy was trying to compare it to what's his fuck? God, I almost said Hell on Wheels. Sons of Anarchy. Well, that's a completed show. So, I mean, like, bro, it's just one season. We like the one season. We'll see where it goes. Such a weird thing to compare it to. It's like, okay, you like the whole show better than the one that just started. Good. And like, I'm gonna watch the Sons of Anarchy and like, okay, we'll see how accurately they get that world. I'll watch it though. What the hell? Oh, some engine outside. Taylor Sheridan was in it. Only as a but I'll watch it though. It looks pretty good. Just fucking Ron Perlman. Oh, okay. It was a loud car outside. Ron Perlman's in it. And I could somewhat accept him with his face covered in fucking Hellboy makeup, but dude, that guy is so fucking cringe. Only Az and Disbrew will get this. Potato Face Bella Ramsey is playing soccer in Soccer Aid on Sunday. There you go. Marty, 199. The riots are going to bring the big agenda pushback. The riots are over for now, but then we so the fucking, oh God, the No Kings thing turned out cringe. Now, in some places like San Diego, a lot of people turned out, but in San Francisco, the whole No Kings thing, that wasn't a lot of people, dude. And they're all fucking old. They were all old. And I got to give it up to the LA riots. I got to give respect to the LA riots, to the LA riots, to the Chicago riots, to the Atlanta riots, to the New York riots. Nobody fucking died. But the Boomer riot, somebody boomered. And they shot one of their own fucking protesters. So the Boomer riot literally does a boomer murder. It wasn't a riot. It like the No Kings thing. So the people who are wearing masks at the No Kings thing, just mind you. So who forced people to wear masks, who forced people to lock down, who wouldn't allow people to work, who determined who was essential and not essential, are saying No Kings. Always accuse your opponent of what you are doing. Rules for radicals. Okay. It was a fucking joke. And it's sad that somebody died. But if you're going to let a bunch of fucking functionally mentally retarded hippies who are radicalized by professors who are not just mentally retarded, because that would be hard on the mentally retarded, have like deep-seated personal issues and probably mental health issues, running around with guns, and they shot each other. Oy. That was in Salt Lake City, right? That was in Salt Lake City. And then the weirdness of the assassination of the two Democratic senators, or the assassination attempt. Like one was killed and one wasn't. Supposedly the internet has stated that they kind of stepped out of line. And at least I know one did, because she did a speech on it. Stepped out of line and voted against illegal aliens getting benefits as adults in Minnesota. But the guy was pro-life, but he was appointed by Tim Walz. I don't know what the fucking truth is. I don't know at all what the truth is with that. But they got the guy who supposedly did it. Everything's fucking weird. And like, the truth is up there. Most of it's probably lies. And like, it doesn't help. Like, it's part of free speech, and I understand it, and I don't want it banned. I do not want it banned. But it certainly doesn't help when you have Dom Lucre and the other fucking retards out there, like, just posting fake bullshit. But it's good. Just don't, like Ian Miles Chong, that Dom shithead, and the other guy, I don't know his name. Just don't believe a fucking thing they post ever. They're full of shit. They're full of fucking shit. I'm stating the obvious here, but hopefully you find the truth somewhere. I'd rather have to like just seek the truth through the shit than have the government dictate it for me, though. So let those retards be as retarded as they want, especially Ian Miles Chong, who's never been in this fucking country. Never, you know why he never criticizes his own country? Because he'd go to fucking jail. Fucking dipshit. Oh, by the way, he's a doxer. Might have gotten a dog. Might have swatted people. He's a piece of shit. He's a total piece of shit. I don't know why people fucking retweet him. I don't know why people follow him. Stole a bunch of money from the quartering to pay off an e-girl who he couldn't get off with. You know, it's a sad thing. Ian Miles Ching Chong Bing Bong. Vance looks older than JD Vance. Oh, the Vance killer. The killer Vance. Yeah, he looks way older than 40. I think he's in his 60s. Yeah, I don't like Ian Miles Strong. Fuck him. Release the Perry Chan cut. We will. And Vec, we will. Marty for $199. The right. Okay, I read that one already. Shad is correct. Some canon of Superman does have him have a minor force field close to his skin, which is how his suit is able to suit is as durable as him, depending on what era. Yes. And the Fantastic Four has unstable molecules. Ha 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 ha. 4456 for $10. Hail FNT. Are any of you guys going to review the new animated Animal Farm movie? Seth Rogen is apparently the Stalin pig. Also, hi Rags. What do you want to bet? It's anti-fascism and not anti-communism. We'll see. Beardo, big brutal banana butt sex bonanza for $4.99. Superman still looks much better than Sue Storm's Fantastic Four. Yeah. Oh, Superman is going to be better than Fantastic Four. Superman is going to do better than Fantastic Four. I think I'm not going out on a limb with that one. TJ Jordan for $5. South Park is going to have a lot of material for the season to use. Fuck yeah. Considering their production for one episode is 1 or 2 weeks, I cannot wait. Yeah, it's going to be fucking crazy. I cannot. When does it come out? If it comes out. South July 9th. Oh, July's stacked, man. July is stacked. It's been fucking slow as fuck for entertainment for months. And it's stacked now. Beardo, I read that one. TJ Jordan, someone should take advantage of what is happening in LA and film it for a future use. No CGI needed, and only you have to wait a few years for the next one. I mean, the writing was super light. Okay. That was not like some Evos being set on fire. A couple of cop cars fucked up because people were throwing shit off the bridge, but relatively light compared to past rioting. It still sucks. Businesses were affected. They fucking looted a sushi restaurant. What the fuck's that about? How retarded. No, what's bad is what happened to that at Carnival yesterday in Utah. Some 16-year-old dipshit kid whips out a gun, starts firing it, kills a baby. Baby's life's over. His life's over. He's being a shithead about it. Somebody kicks some dirt in his face while he's getting arrested, which they should have done. And he's like, fuck you, man. It's like, dude. And yesterday was Father's Day. And what do you want to bet that kid didn't have? What do you want to bet? There's 64% chance that kid didn't have a dad. Yep. So a 16-year-old kid, life's over. I think 3 people died, right? 3 people died, including a baby, a fucking baby. He's going to get fucked up. That's you have that on your ticket, dude, on your jacket. You have that on your jacket. He better go in the fucking protective custody because there's child molesters, there's rapists. I don't know. Some rapists they're not as hard on like just regular garden variety average rapists as you would think. But they like child molester and killing a baby. And he's going to probably juvie because he's 16. And those are hardcore. Way more hardcore than adult prisons. Fucking hardcore. But he could get stuck. He could get stuck like a pig. For sure. You're not going to have a good time. He's going to have to cozy up to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a baby killer. Like you killed a baby. Yeah, he ain't gonna last long. Maybe the trash will take out itself. But it's important having dad around. Josh Kelsey has dropped 20, walks away. Because that's what Josh does. Marty for $4.99. With Jared Leto's news broken, I'd recommend watching the Mark Malkin interview Jared did with WB Event about the horrific stuff he sent the cast. Oh, yeah. Something's happening to Jared right before a Disney movie comes out, right? So what's going on? The guy who does the retreats trying to look like fucking Jesus has problems. Jared Leto projects amid sexual assault allegations. What's next? Jared Leto's Me Too moment. Jared Leto's bizarre 20 million abandoned nuclear military compound revealed. How does he get in so much money? Well, it can't be from his stupid band. I know he's got some Me Too shit going on. I mean, shocking news. But innocent till proven guilty. Josh Peters for $20. Hail FNT. First time in a few weeks I've been able to super chat. Thank you. Just throwing some shekels your way as thank you for the GOAT content. Az is my favorite. Much love, FNT. Keep up the good work. Hail Az. He's your favorite gay. Marty for $4.99. Hollywood changing course is not viable. It's like asking a Christian studio to make something for the masses. They wouldn't even know how to adjust. You are not wrong. They know they need to adjust. I think there's some desire, Marty, to adjust. They just don't know how. Shadow the Hedgehog for $20 says, Gary, your endless coof rants are pathetic. 99% of society is back to normal, yet your fan base keeps eating it up. You're more grating than NPCs. It's an unalive horse. Say it's a dead horse, you pussy. No wonder FNT is in decline. Yeah, we're in decline. Have you seen the numbers on both streaming? Okay, but never mind. Okay. By the way, by all means, forget Koof. You do what you want. You forget the Koof. You forget it happens. You forget it happens, Shadow. Oh, and like you could say dead, you fucking pussy. You say dead. You could say dead, fuck, whatever the fuck you want in our super chats. I don't care. And you could spell pathetic right too. It doesn't have a 3 and a 1 in it. Unless you're trolling, then that's funny. Then it's funny. All depends. But by all means, forget COVID. It's cool. You'll be the first in line to comply again, buddy. Gunner for 50 Norwegian krona. I'm sorry for misplacing Az last stream. He is clearly in Singapore. It's the last time I ask Bing for anything. Jesus. That's what you get. I won't consider Hollywood back and woke. I won't consider Hollywood back and woke is dead until I see the character Captain Jack Harkness on screen again, except not by. Yeah. Well, you're not going to see him on screen again as by. And they don't get gayer than Captain Jack and John Barrowman. They don't get gayer than John Barrowman. And he got canceled. Big bopper for 5 years. But I also want to point out that a lot of the gays go super to the trans side to keep from getting canceled because what John Barrowman got busted for, which is whipping his dick out. Well, he was naked and he was like flopping his junk around. They all do that on set. They all do that shit on set. Some YouTubers do that shit on set behind the scenes. You guys should check out the Dave Cullen. He'd fit right here. We've asked Dave on multiple times and we'll get him on. It's always been a time difference thing. But I love Dave Cullen. Watch all his stuff. Dries Vandebus for 11.99 euros. Clarkson's Farm is great. Yes, it is. What an arc. What arc what arc are you on in One Piece? Gary and the panel, thanks for the great show. After the darkness, there will be light. I will be saint and sinners. Looks awesome. Saints and Sinners looks awesome. Wag, Orc, Def Dreads, Warhammer 40K, says Brian McCann. Cash Acus for $10 says, Convo on Real BBC. Sam Tripoli was who made the riot predictions and said, yes, said we're in the middle of our own Bolshevik revolution. Season 10 of Mike Duncan's Revolutions podcast covers it really well. Thank you. Thank you. Chat always getting us in the right direction. Thank you, guys. You're the best. You're better than Grok. How's the search for the new soundboard, Az? He ain't searching. They actually gave huge baggy helmet covers. They did. All hail FNT, says Orange Ugotten. And it's Orange Ugotten. It's not orangutan. TJ Jordan for $2. Hollyweird, No More Men. Pascal, I'm no man. Deport Dan for $1. Deport Dan for sure. Dr. Schlurpo for $5. Just wanted to wish you all happy tomorrow is Flag Day. I totally misread that. Oh, well, have a great day, everyone. Hail. Happy Flag Day as opposed to Flag Month, which disappeared. As is Wonky Eyebrow for £2 British. Who were the 6% thinking Gary would be on time? Optimists. 1000X for $20. Hey guys, I have a friend from work who just recently lost her grandmother and mother-in-law. A GoFundMe has been set up to help with some expenses for that. If anyone is willing to help and participate, email it to us. 1000X. Email it to us. Gary@nerdrotic.com. We got to check out everyone first. Okay. Sorry it's that way, but this is the internet. Trevor N for $2. Hey, Arch is on again soon. Hi, Rags. Have Arch. We will. Harukami for $20. Just watch today's clip. Is there a gender swap you can live with? Mine's Lucy Liu as Dr. Watson in Elementary. Had the hots for Lucy since Payback. Maybe that's where some of my passion for Asian women comes from. Maybe a gender swap I can live with. Is it a gender swap? Starbuck in the BSG remake. She owned it. It was good. But if they remade, but they made it like really different. So if they remade Battlestar Galactica, which conceptually is one of the coolest science fiction concepts ever, but it was just made a procedural TV show, I still loved it. I would want it to be a proper male Starbuck if they wanted to remake the real Battlestar Galactica with aliens, and I think that would be tons of fun. And I'm really glad Sam Esmail's version got shit canned. Really glad, because that guy just straight up works for the fucking Obamas now. Jay Chain for $9.99. Hail to you, Gary, and the fellowship. I missed last week's show for the first time in a long time due to going to rehab. My choice. Good. Thanks for your inspiring 1 week sober today. That's good. Jay Chain, good. So rehab is a good starter kit. Continue to go to meetings, find yourself a sponsor, go to if you can't, if you're committed, I'm sure the rehab's going to tell you this too. Your sponsor's going to tell you this too. 90 meetings in 90 days. 90 meetings in 90 days. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a tall order. But remember, we were all getting fucking high 90 days in a row. And then another 90 days in a row. And then another 90 days in a row. So we were getting high every day. So it needs to be the same kind of commitment. And by the time you're, 15, 20 into those 90 meetings in 90 days, it becomes what that's meant to do is find you fellowship. Fellowship. Surrounded by a bunch of people who are going in the same direction as you, getting sober. And then you're going to find people with like lots of sobriety, 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And you're going to go, I want what. See, that's the difference between envy is you go to those places, you see somebody who like, man, he was in the same place I was, but now look at him. Look at it. He's doing good. And you go, I want what that guy's got. And it's not envy. It's like, how do I get that? Please tell me how to get that. Inspiration. Hey, Gary, my wife and I just had twins, and I want to thank you all for the entertainment you brought us all these last 2 months to keep us sane. Also, that Lilo and Stitch movie was an abomination, says Cameron Perry for $9.99. Mahler and the EFAP crew would agree with you. I will never know because I will never watch it, and How to Train Your Dragon will be the last one I ever fucking watch, period. It's not worth arguing over. It's not worth talking about. It's a movie. If I had young kids, I would have taken to it. You know what? I felt better when we saw it the second time because we were with some young kids and they liked it. And I'm like, that's fine. It can exist. I have no interest in watching him ever again. Done. I got better things to do with my time. Better things to do with my fucking time. And they're coming, man. They're going to come hard and fast. Hard and fast. Snow White was memeable. It was a cultural moment, but fuck, we're going to get so many more Snow Whites and so few How to Train Your Dragons. And I mentioned it as Mahler brought it up to me because like I haven't watched How to Train Your Dragon since my kids were young. So it had been a decade. So we were talking. I'm like, that's a pretty good trilogy. I remember it being a pretty good trilogy. And Mahler's like, watch the second one again. So I did. And there's girl boss shit in it. There certainly is. 100%. It's proto girl boss. Gene the Revenant for $5. Everyone that reads comics knows that Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer. They cared in Crimson Tide, but they don't care anymore. You're right. Great line, by the way. Cynical Crusader for £2 British. Hey, all. Just wanted the message to say thanks to all who tried to get YouTube's attention with my Joe the Uber Geek channel. Was really humbled by the response. Looking to starting a new thing with the new channel soon. Hail FNT. I don't know what, Joe. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but with John A. Douglas and you and Nick Weiser. Nick Weiser got hit on a stream for showing firearms and there was no firearms. So there's obviously something going on with the AI. Your channels don't have partner managers. So you're getting rejected quickly. And I think it's something like YouTube has integrated AI starting May 1st, but they were like tinkering with it this year and it's fundamentally broken right now. And I don't know what the answer is. Don't be surprised if your channels come back at some point, but, like I'm limited because like my partner manager can only tell me things, but they can only tell me shit pertaining to my channel. Right. So, and of course the company line is going to be, there is no problems. There's something going on. Like I know like John had somebody who was banned, but he was banned for interviewing somebody who was banned before they were banned. That makes no fucking sense. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's always something. It's always something. Rants. Can't wait to listen in during my shift tonight. Wish the new Superman movie was just Superman. Too many heroes for me for a launch of new cinematic universes to get excited about. Give me Superman. Agreed. It's either Lamb Chop for $25 has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you. Gary, what musician death affected you the hardest? For me, it was Neil Peart, Eddie Van Halen. We lost both to cancer in 2020. David Bowie and Prince. Neil, that was a tough one too. Eddie Van Halen. They both live crazy lives. Bowie's on the next level though. And Prince was so useless. Fucking fentanyl. Fucking Tom Petty too. You remember 2016? Who could forget the great celebrity culling of 2016? Lemmy was tough too. But listen, when people like lot of fucking celebrities died in 2016. It was one after the other, after the other, after the other. Ozzy Osbourne hurts me most. Ozzy's a twat. A twat, as the guys say. A twat. I like Black Sabbath, but Ozzy's a twat. Hey, Gary, great job on Twin Pods, remembering to mention your book without a Post-it note. Is the Rumble feed going away or the bonus hour? We're living on a prayer. Oh, living on a prayer. I'm still going to dual stream here sometimes, but I haven't made a decision yet. I've got when I always try to weigh the pros and cons, and people may or may not want to talk to me right now, like Rumble. So we're gonna see. But I talked about it a little bit with Chris, with you guys publicly. Like, there's a lot of IRL stuff going on with my wife dealing with her brother's death, and I need to be around more. So I just got to get through July. July is going to be a busy month. Lots of movies coming out. Then I'm going to make some decisions. That decision will be made first, but I just need to simplify some stuff because I need to be more available. Because believe it or not, I mean, I love this job, but I'm locked in my office for hours and hours doing research and stuff like that, not just live streaming. And I love it, but I need to be around. So that's why I came up to Wisconsin. Also, I wasn't going to have any fucking water. So I was like, all right, let's go. The audio in here sucks. So I got to get some soundproofing immediately. Probably got to get a new mic. But I'm going to be up here for the rest of the month, and then back in, I'm going to be in Greensboro. I'm pointing towards Greensboro because you guys can tell what direction it is. For Cosmic Summit in a few days. Then I'm back here. Then I'm back in Texas until we travel again. But we've got a lot of stuff to work out still. It's getting there. Progress has been made, but my wife's been in Wisconsin since February. So I'd like to be my family to be somewhat whole again. Waffle Master 030 for $1 says, spoiler alert, Superman flies and beats the bad guy. Saved everyone $20. True Forest $12 for $5 says, hail Gary, since you collect offensive comics covers, I do. That is kind of my thing right now, is the politically incorrect Golden Age comics. Do you have any Superman comics with pink kryptonite that turns him into that homosexual crop duster co-host of yours? So long, gay boys. I have some pretty racist covers. I do now. I even walk up to booths, because the booths with the good comic books. I'm like, okay, what are your most racist covers? And they fucking laugh every time. Nobody gets offended. I'm like, that's my thing right now, is I'm looking for the most politically incorrect racist covers you got. And they fucking whip them out. If Gary knows the Beltline in Madison, I literally have a Culver's across the Beltline from my apartment. Madison, Wisconsin? I'm not that close to Madison, Wisconsin, though. I'm actually pretty north of Madison. Pretty north. But we have relatives down there. We do. Thank you, Dan Vicious. No, there's a restaurant in Sheboygan that makes brilliant butter burgers. That's not a chain, it's an actual restaurant. No, the butter burgers here are fucking fantastic. They're so good. This is for something. Here is a joke for you. I can't read that. I can't read that. No. Grace Randolph is the only acceptable casting for Dot Matrix in the second Spaceball. Part one. Hail, Gary. Have you said, you've said many times that a female Silver Surfer would not work. My wife and I discussed that a female Silver Surfer would work if they had did it like the original Fox X-Men. She's wearing nothing but a thong, silver body paint. The missus thinks, ironically, Dakota Johnson would have been a good choice. She has experience being on screen like that. You're winning me over. If Dakota Johnson is a nude Silver Surfer, okay. Okay. Let's fucking go. You're winning me over. All right, let's share this. What time is it? Oh, shit. It's late. Okay. Let's see. I can't say I remember this one, but we'll find out.
James, Sirius, Peter, the moon is out. I'm turning into a werewolf.
Don't worry, friend. We'll transform into animals with you.
Follow him. We have to get somewhere isolated. Hold on. Where's James?
Okay, that's it. Easy, girl.
James! What the hell are you doing?
I'm going to this deer. You know, when in Rome.
What do you mean, when in Rome?
Like, I wouldn't normally do shrooms, but if I went to Burning Man, of course I'd do shrooms.
This isn't shrooms. It's bestiality.
No, bestiality would be if I were a human fucking a deer. But I'm a deer fucking a deer. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Stop it. Stop it. That's gross.
Oh, come on. You've never a dog.
No.
Liar.
Okay, I led him far into the woods where he can't hurt anyone.
Peter, you rats, don't you?
Ew, no!
I mean when you're a rat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Gentlemen, are we going to bone or what?
Professor McGonagall?
Okay. I don't remember that one. Love Robot Chicken. Oh, okay. Let's get to some member chats and then we're done with this. That was a long square up. Thanks, guys. So back to Melkor, and we did that one. And Electrify 928 is a new member. Hail. I read that one. Jake D has been a member for 27 months. Gary, I had the same issue with mine at my place. Ended up replacing with tankless system to prevent that happening again. Yeah, we have kind of we have like a really super duper one, but apparently it happens a lot, Jake D. Like it's a normal thing to happen. So we have a system where we got fucking apps. So it's going to send me an alarm if something goes. It's got a dehumidifier. It's got all this crazy shit. And we actually, because it happened, homeowners insurance actually covered some of it. I can't fucking believe it. But yeah, we had to pay a hefty deductible, a couple grand. But yeah, homeowners insurance is covering the rest, which is insane. I actually used it and it worked. But yeah, apparently that's a common problem. Some dad problems like the expansion tank. Sunny Man has gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership. Hail. And Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Did I miss anything? Dan Bass. Okay, that's it. We're wrapping up for the day. It's 3 hours. That was good. Good. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's me rambling for 3 hours. Fun. Who else is streaming? Who do we got? Let's see. Funny Old World is we got Luke Caverns and Johanna James. If you're into the ancient civilization stuff, they're streaming. Who else? Matthew Marsden streaming. John Campia streaming. I'm sure you guys mix in with that crowd really well. We probably share viewers. We 100% do. But yeah, Luke Caverns and Funny Old World are doing Raiders of the Lost of the Past podcast is out there. And Matthew Marsden, our friend Matthew Marsden, is talking about World War III, basically. I am going to go hang out and have some food and see what's next. Woke. I think, do we have that? No, we don't. Yeah, we do.
Woke.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Who's retarded now?
Yeah.
Suit yourself, queer. It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there. All I know is that dyke can play.
Good clips. Classics they are. Classics. So I'll be on Real BBC on Az's channel tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. The Nooner is very iffy. I might have to bail to go to Cosmic Summit. So I'll talk to Chris about that. I got to see kind of what my schedule is, because I have to be there Thursday to watch 28 Years Later. And in the meantime, I get to watch 28. I get to watch all the 28s. 28 days later, 28 months later, and then 28 years later. Hope it's fucking good. I hope it's good. So I will see you next time. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate you us allowing us to do square ups for that. So thank you. And I will see you next time. Adieu. Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.